this to me because I have
We
no.
are angels, shining so bright, spreading love, lifting hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Every step you take, every dream you chase, know that you're enough, you're in the right place. Ruby and Loud here to lift you higher, with love in our hearts, with light in the sky. Ruby and Low, shining so bright, spreading love, lifted hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Hope in your heart, kindness in your hands. Together we rise like golden strands. No fear, no limits, just love and light. We'll change the world when we all unite. We are the LOL angels, shining so bright, spreading love, lifting hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Hope in your heart, kindness in your hands. Together we rise like golden strands. No fear, no limits, just love and light. We'll change the world when we all unite. We are the angels, shining so bright, spreading love, lifting hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. To everyone who shares this dream, you're the light, you're the beam. Thank you for love, for faith, for grace. Together we shine, one heart, one place.
All right. Hello. Welcome to episode 9 of LOL Angels, hosted by yours truly, Ruby Spacek, and the amazing perfection that is Low.
Of course. Hello, guys. Welcome in. I hope everyone is all ready for today. We have an amazing episode for you guys. I'm super excited to be back on LOL Angels because we needed, our word of God in, some positivity, love, light, of course, all the goodness. And salute to everyone in the building already. Glad to see you guys here, of course. So, Ruby,
Exactly.
what do you want to get into first? Because, we got a little bit on the agenda,
All right. Well, let's start. Well, we can talk. So last week we were talking about spiritual warfare, and a lot of it was connected and inspired to like all the insane drama that was happening in my life. And things with that seem to have cooled down. But then just in the like panel verse and where we've been, there's been a lot of like just hostility and a lot of conflict that, at times is resolved healthily, but often isn't. So
Yeah,
we've been
I would say
take
most of the time it's the conflict online has actually been like really ridiculous, and just people's audacities and attitudes kind of are going out of whack, I feel like. But it is a part of YouTube, and I feel like that's like why we kind of got to talk about it and maybe ways to get around it, how obviously we can just avoid conflict or find the right path to like kind of getting it out of our line of sight and focusing on something good rather than maybe that argument in the midst of everything. So that is basically what our topic is on today, though, is anger and conflict, because I thought that it was pretty fitting for today's episode. If anyone did notice, yesterday we had a little bit of just like some chaos in my channel, and Ruby's been
like
having a
4 hours of chaos, 4 hours of level 10 Hurricane Paro, like panel explosion.
Right.
We attempted peace talks, and I thought me and Paro made some progress and we're chilling out. But after that, it got crazy and it crossed a line that I can't even comprehend. I don't know if you have the clip. I couldn't figure out how to upload it. I had to like convert it.
No, you're so good. I do want to before we address everybody's comment, our girl Mackenzie is in the building, and she said, if you whores so much as mention HP and continue to make content off of him, you will be very sorry. Pretending to be positive Christian, platforming men you only turn on and make look like fools. Well, the first thing that I want to say is shout out to you, Mackenzie. Thanks for tuning in. Secondly, we actually weren't going to be mentioning him, but it was a little bit of inspiration for today's episode because he isn't the only person online that kind of likes to go, off of anger and those type of emotions and feelings. So it definitely,
I don't even know him that well, so I'm not even sure what that.
And also, third point that I just want to make: we're not Christian. I just believe in God, and that is
followers of Christ.
Righteously judging someone. And if you knew what would happen, or I'm not sure if you were there yesterday. I'm obviously sure you're not because you hate me. That's cool. He said some very explicit things, some very disgusting things that you should not say. But
directly to a minor.
Yes.
Let's just say he told. I don't know. It's up to you. I don't want to.
No, I don't think that we should say it. I don't think that we should say it.
No, you're right. But cross the line saying something to a minor, to someone's child, that was very
that wasn't even it. I mean, that was like a part of the issue, but it's really just, and this is not just for him. This is for also people who come up on my panel, your panel, and just think like, oh, we're power hungry. We like to use our panel for this type of thing. First of all, if it's our panel, we can put people in the back. We can be quote unquote power hungry because it's our channel. If you guys want more freedom, then go make your own channel. Go talk about what you want to talk about on your own stuff. It's really just as simple as that. And secondly, like when people come up and like disrespect me on my own panel and then try to act like the victim, like, yes, I'm going to use you as inspiration of like, let's not act like this and let's find ways to resolve this type of conflict. So yeah.
Dude, me and Tough Guy got in like a battle last night because he was disrespecting you and you were doing the right thing. You kept defusing the tension, saying like, hey guys, let's do trivia. Yeah. And he was like, oh, so that means we can't talk about real things like an adult. And you're like, no, we're just going to do trivia. And he was like, oh, so I'm not allowed to be a man. And it like just kept escalating and like, and I did get a little intense, but I've been trying to do less name calling. I caught myself in an earlier.
I was about to say yes. Or earlier, you caught the perfect. You were like, you silly little child of God. Like I feel like those are like little moments where you should definitely give a pat on your back because you're working and you're doing better. Like you're not calling someone out of their name. You're not disrespecting someone, and like that's the whole point, guys. Like we don't need to say disrespectful things to get our point across. Like you can say what you want to say without disrespecting someone in their own like. On their own channel, in their own like personal life, like it doesn't matter what it is. And
yeah, why would she tolerate? Why would she want to like make a channel and just have people shit on her? Like, and Lo tolerates so much. She's really not like been happy at all. Like it has to be.
I've only ever banned two people, him and
I'm ban happy. Sometimes.
No, he's actually the first person I've ever banned on my channel. Even my porn bomber. He got banned from the studio, but he didn't get banned from the chat. Like that should tell you that I have some grace for people, Like I definitely let shit slide. And at this point, like I'm just really getting sick and tired of, people thinking that they can just continue to walk over everyone and think shit's sweet. Like I'm gonna still continue to be nice and my lovey-dovey self, but at the same time, like you guys will be getting called out because who do you think you are? Like at this point, I really don't know. But anyways, before we continue, let's shout some people out in the building. You already know. We got Distinction in here. Stevie.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
What if I'm trying to make the point that I don't respect you? You can
like how to insult someone nicely.
That is a great question. You can still make that point without disrespecting someone that you don't respect them. Do you understand my point? But
like we'll just say like, oh, like I think what you're saying is outrageously like offensive, and I disagree, and that can be that,
right. And Tony, you are right.
Being exactly what it looks like. Yep.
I don't know,
Mackenzie, you're a psycho, but oh fuck, I just broke.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no point in name calling because who really cares? And Tony, you are right. Imperious did put his N-word, the N-word in his name when he came up on my channel. And since I'm monetized, I have banned that word. So yes, you're right. He should have been banned. But the second time they came up, I corrected it myself. I admitted that I was wrong and he had to change his name to come up on the panel. And he has not said the N-word since then. And you have to understand with some people, like it's actually like jokes and games and like this is content, right? But then for some people, like this is real life and like their anger issues go beyond YouTube and the screen. Like it goes into the real life and you never know what someone's going to do. And Imperius could be one of those people. Don't get me wrong. So guys, if I end up dead, hey, listen, you already know who it was. But
I mean, we all know people showed up at my house and job, you know, and I had to file a police report and a restraining order, which is still being looked at. It just didn't get the immediate approval, but I actually got like a letter from a judge today about it. So whatever, say what you want online, we'll respond, and we're trying to make the best and defuse the situation. I know I just called Mackenzie a psycho. I'm sorry, but I do believe that based on your very wild behavior that I disagree with. And this is why I block people sometimes too, so that I don't insult them, you know. I don't want to, like, it's just better to, like, you know.
I mean, I personally can just ignore stuff. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. But salute to you, Alex. Beard Mania, Yeti Life, of course. Polly, Jimmy. I hope everything's well.
Your behavior, Mackenzie. It's the way you act. And it's the way you're like goo goo gaga psycho in love with Ben and Grace Thorpe. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. And the way you go around and be like calling us trashy whores for what? You're being so aggro. What have we ever done to you? What?
I don't know what I've done to anybody on this whole, you know, YouTube platform, whatever, but
just so you knew, and it's like just out of nowhere. It's just so
obviously. Shout out to you, baby. Yeah, no, it is tomorrow is Napstar's birthday, guys. So happy early birthday to Napstar. Shout out to you, Napstar.
Also today is Stanley's birthday. I think happy birthday.
Stanley. I hope, you know, this year is well for you, sir. You do you know, you have just an amazing year. Your channel gets to flourishing, popping, and you know, you just and your son are well. But Gummy Frog, shout out to you, OPC Don. He said, why are
you here? Why are you here if you don't like us? Just I am curious.
No,
because you went out of your way to come to here and just call us like trashy whores for doing like a stream where we read the Bible. Come on, man, that's a fucking reached. Low is chill max in a word. I know. This is why I need Low. Imagine how much worse off I'd be right now if I didn't have lol angels. Like, and if it was just me, like, while her presence has been very inspiring to me. So you can make a difference online, even just to one person, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it can be, you know, I try to make an impactful, you know, meaningful shit online, but people can take it how they want it or leave it. Like, listen, I'm not going to argue with anybody online. I don't even know you past the profile picture. So come on now. Anyways, I think that, you know, obviously with us starting out, like I said, today's episode will be about anger and conflict, guys. So we're going to be figuring out ways to avoid conflict, how we can get around conflict, how we can control our emotions a little bit better. This is also not just for you guys, for us too. I might seem, you know, like the most composed person ever, but in my small life, you know, sometimes I maybe can step out of line. So I'm talking to myself too. But other than that, you know, like last week we talked about warfare, you know, spiritual warfare, the differences between God and the devil's voice inside your mind. You know, the things that they will be telling you to do, what they're going to be lining up with. Obviously, anything confusing, pushing you to do something, condemning you, that's the devil's voice. Encouraging you, you know, enlightening you, that's God's voice, things of that sort. We had our little thrift haul videos that I absolutely loved. I
think I still have them uploaded. Also, like, it's true. Sometimes I'm a little hypocritical. We literally just restated that we're saying all this for ourselves too, like almost like just as much as for anyone else. I know that, you know, I have not handled everything perfectly. I've been immature and petty. Yes. And it's dumb. Okay. And I disavow me. Okay. I don't know what else I can do, man. I already prayed to God. Literally, I pray for forgiveness when I act like a fucking jackass online. And for the most part, I usually try to mend things if I can. I've been in a great peacemaking streak. So anyway, I don't know.
No, you're good. He-Man, shout out to you. Thanks for tuning in. Polly says some people are speaking by what they see or hear from YouTube only because they don't have Discord. Therefore, they're not seeing the shenanigans that take place in Discord as well. And I definitely agree with that. But it's like, I also feel like even if you were only seeing what you see on YouTube, some people like to be blind to it. And some people are conditioned in their mind to think that, you know, some of the shit that people are doing are normal. So they don't see anything wrong with it. So that's also another problem. GG, shout out to you. He says Ruby is my favorite white YouTuber. She's fine. Salute. So salute to you, Ruby. I definitely agree, DG.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Holy, we will. I don't know if we will be dropping the link today, guys. Like with everything going on, it depends on who it is and like who we want to let up and shit.
Maybe we could do call in, like maybe one person at a time can call in later, just so it doesn't get crazy, or like one or two. I don't know. Well, we can see how we feel after we go through our verses and scriptures. Oh, I also have a little show and tell item and presents.
Okay. Well, what do you want to start off with? Just like showing some pictures, or do you want to do our 5 grateful things that we're grateful for this week? Or
let's do the pictures. We'll start.
Okay. Well, that one was from last week. But it's okay. Okay, so this was my first picture, guys. I actually, even though me and Ruby kind of are on like the same like scale when it comes to AI, we don't really know how we feel about it. Yeah. But I did ask AI to give me a picture of like what the end days are going to look like, and this is the picture that it gave me. Basically, the book that is in the center of the image, I'm guessing is supposed to be the Bible. If you look at like everything that is surrounding, obviously there's the light in the sky, the clouds, kind of like a crack down the middle. There's like, it looks like people, but they're kind of
deformed. That's what it feels like.
That's what I'm saying. They're kind of deformed on the side. And it basically, like this picture kind of, when I seen it, just told me like, you know, the Bible is going to be the only thing kind of standing and lasting in its true nature at the end of days. And, you know, whatever chaos.
People don't know what to trust. They don't know what feelings to trust. They don't know what information to trust, you know, and it's a very confusing time. And there's a lot of sick things happening in the world. And there's a lot of hate and deep sadism and wanting people to suffer. So we need to, with just as much vigilance as the haters, we need to bring light, you know, because light does conquer darkness. Love conquers hate. It's not a cope, it's a fact. It just works that way.
And even though and I feel like some people like to bring up the fact, well, you know, lightness and darkness, they need to both exist, which they definitely do. But no matter how much darkness you bring into light, like it will never, you know, outshadow the light. But if you bring light into darkness, all that shit is disappearing. So guys, I think that's just that you can literally go do that with a candle in a dark room. Like you can prove that to yourself in person. That's kind of giving you, you know, the proof that you would need. So,
and that image kind of summarizes.
H&K, shout out to you. Infowar, you too.
All right. What's that? We have.
Oh yeah, that was my second picture. I actually
you want to do this one?
I went to my friend's house. I was at my friend's house the other day, and I had like literally just parked in the driveway. And when I looked over, this is literally on some like above someone's like electrical box, and there was like obviously there's windows from the houses and shit, but the fact that it made a cross and like it literally just like shone like when I seen it, guys, I'm not even seeing like
freaked me out. I didn't know what that was. I was like, why are you sending this picture of like a box? I was like, okay.
No, it's a cross on top. Like when I seen it, I literally like looked over and there was just this beautiful, like illuminating, glistening cross above it. And like I just take little signs like that. Like God just shows himself in the most mysterious and coolest ways. Like I don't, you know, need to like obviously having my Bible open, reading and seeing, talking to him is the best way, but he just shows himself in little ways. It could literally be on here through someone's comment. It could be on like, you know, light shining off of something as you just seen. So I thought that was a pretty cute picture that I took and just seen. Yeah, I had definitely God looking out for me that day. He looks out for me every day, but you know, this is for the scripture of the day. So you can just take that one down for a minute. What was the other picture that I had brought up? I think I might have sent you. Oh yeah, this one. This is just another, I always like to upload a sunset. And as you guys see, like in my car, guys, I do have a little like rosary, and it's actually a lion on there because technically I would like be in the tribe of Judah. So I'm like a lioness, and you know, that's just me in my life.
That's so pretty.
But yeah, I love sunsets. Yeah, they're the best. They're the best. That's tagging. Napstar. It was light surfacing off of windows or something. It was no tagging. It was no tagging. So majestic. Shout out to you, Doge. Ruby, did you?
I uploaded this. This was like a verse that I was reading last night that resonated because it's hard to know what the right thing to do is. But if you like follow this like feeling of light in your heart, it really does feel like the moral truth is like exists in your heart in a way. But it's they show that the work of the law is written on their hearts, while their conscience also bears witness, and their conflicting thoughts accuse or even excuse them. And then I also uploaded, this is just a really beautiful
woman.
I
Wow.
appreciate
Very
beauty.
beautiful.
That is Kate Moss looking stunning in the 90s. Look at that dress.
Yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful. This is from, oops. I took a couple screenshots from the panel last night. It was just like cute. Oops. I literally did not mean to. Oh my God. This is, that's what I submitted to Tough Guy.
What do you be uploading on here, Ruby?
I don't know. I was a little manic today. I still am. This is me at the bookstore. Feeling
Cute.
very like bookstore chic.
No, I love those jeans. No, when you came home and I like you had your the sweater that you got from thrifting on, it made me just so happy because like
and then I also there's this famous quote. I talked about it on my channel earlier, but it's from Jean-Paul Sartre. He's like a French existentialist philosopher, and his famous quote is that hell is other people. But on the flip side, a lot of people don't appreciate that he also meant that heaven is other people.
Oh yeah,
heaven is in each other. And I just think that rings true, because through relationships I can experience so much joy, happiness, connection, peace, laughter, all these amazing gifts of life that are free. And
those are what I like to focus on. Like, even though we do talk about a lot of obviously the faults in the world and YouTube and like how we can get better with things, and obviously encouraging like lifting episodes on LOL Angels, we definitely need to have an episode of just straight good positive things, because those are like the things that I like to just focus on. Like, why can't we focus on God's blessings and what he does for us every day, and literally our life, our breath of life, our family, we get to eat every day, we get to have a house over our head, food, clothes on our back. Like, those are the things that we need to be focusing on. Like, we can blink, we can move, we have our health, guys. Like, let's like just
health
stop.
And just like luxury. Oh, I have coconut water, and like
Lionel, shout out to you. He said sending positive vibes for a positive stream, and I salute you, Lionel, because we don't get a lot of. We know, guys, we do get a lot of positive vibes, but we also get some hate vibes over here. Like,
abnormal. Like Mackenzie came in strong today.
He did, but I still appreciate her because you're still a watcher, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, they're still watching. It helps the algorithm, and it gives a little spice and an example for us to restate what our values are and our opinions, and that's fine for us to do.
Exactly. Okay, so getting to our 5 grateful things. Speak Radio, I'm just here to troll. Please don't troll LOL Angels. You can troll on any other panel, not today. But let's get to our 5 grateful things. I think that you do it usually first, so I'll do it. First of all, I'm grateful for God, number 1. Obviously, you guys already know my number 1 answer. Secondly, this is what second thing that popped into my head. Ruby getting monetized again, guys. Shout out to Ruby. Go follow Ruby SpaceX. Get her to where she needs to fucking be. Hit her donos, hit her cash apps, hit her super chats, her super stickers. Don't play with her. She is back. We are both back in order, guys. Like, how does me and Ruby, Low and Ruby, get monetized damn near in the same week? Coincidence? I think
so. The come up is crazy. It's just been like all vertical. I'm getting vertigo.
I'm drinking water, guys, as always. I'm always drinking water.
Yeah, I've never felt compelled to like drink alcohol on this show, but I have smoked weed during it, just for full disclosure. Hey, Universal, how are you?
Shout out to you, Universal Jones. No, we got you, Ruby. I gotta get you clipped off yesterday because that screenshot that you pulled up of you and Tough Guy, and you were on the floor and you were like, yes.
Oh wait, yeah, let me pull that up again. That was
so funny.
I put that in because I took the clip and I uploaded it, and I took this picture.
Ruby laid on the floor and was like, I forgot what you had said. You were just like,
okay. He was like trying to be a macho man, so I was like, all right, whatever. I submit. I
submit to you. I submit to you.
And he was confused, and that's my method of attack: confuse them into submission, and then be nice.
Yeah, no, congratulations, Ruby. I'm very happy that you're monetized again. Okay, so third thing, I'm trying to I always want to say usually the same stuff, like my family and whatever, but let me think, what happened this week? I did get to see my friend the other day that I haven't seen in like 3 months, Jasmine. If you guys know from my channel, she's been on there once, not like fully cammed up or anything, but she has just been in the background. And I haven't seen her in a very long time. So I did get to see her a couple days ago.
That's so great.
And got to hang out. It was a nice time. You know, she's going through a rough time, so I was able to be there for her, like, you know, just going through rough things. And I was glad to be able to be that person for her.
That's really amazing, because it's so easy to get disconnected from friends, and like sometimes it feels good to be someone who really can help and be a support to another person, you know, because if you've been the person who needed support, it's, you know, some people are important. You need other people.
100%. And that's why, like, she's also like kind of like another me. Like, if I called her for anything, you know, she would drop everything with what she's doing and come to my aid. So, and I'm the same way with her. You know, she obviously, like I said, was going through a rough time. I'm sure I was even doing something that day, but I was just like, fuck it. Like, I haven't seen my girl in, you know, a couple months. Like, I need to go see her. And also, like, there was, I want to say I am grateful for just like everyone. I don't want to say that each week, but actually this week, I just wanted to bring up something. I had seen a post on Facebook of this girl, you know, ending her life, basically. I don't know how you're supposed to say it on YouTube, whatever. But it, like, honestly, like, made me cry for like a good hour. Like, I was just going through her Facebook and like seeing like the post that she had made, you know, before she had done what she had done, and like kind of like
I do that sometimes too. I just like look at the older
I just wanted to see, like, you know, obviously I didn't know her. It was like one of those viral posts, but you could still like go to her page and kind of see what she was posting and see how other people had reacted. And it just, you know, obviously made me very sad, because like even like one of her posts before she had done what she did was like tagging her friend in a comment and was like, oh, like, please come and see me soon, like, I really need you, or something. And her friend, of course, commented and was like, oh yeah, I'll be there soon. And then not even, you know, 2-3 days later, you know, she did what she did. So like even just moments like that of someone like really being like, hey, like, I would just love to see you. You really never know what someone is going to go like is going through. Obviously, like, even myself, like, I've obviously had like suicidal thoughts, and, you know, maybe not thought, oh, I'm going to make it to the next day. Like, who knows? And I have texted friends like that, but, you know, thank God that I am here today. And it just really made me like sad. And I could like cry about it now, just thinking about it, because like, you know, anybody who really hadn't got that chance of life yet, you know, they've been depressed for a while. They think, oh, this is never going to end. Like, when is it going to get better? They didn't get to that spot yet where they finally got to see that it got better. And they kind of, you know, the enemy got to win in this circumstance. And it really just made me very sad. So I just wanted to bring up that for a second and just tell you guys, like, even your strongest friends, guys, your strongest people in your family, like, please check on them, because usually the strongest people are the fucking saddest. I can say that for a fact. And yeah, it just made me really like down. Like, I cried about it for a good hour, like sobbing for this random woman.
I'm like becoming emotional thinking about it.
Yeah, no, because it's
very
true.
It's tragic. And sometimes I have like survivor's guilt of like, why didn't I overdose and die? Or like, I got so many chances, you know, and it's not fair. It's very sad.
It's not, but that's why I think that, like I said, like, we need to be focusing more on just the positive things, because I'm sure, like you said, me and you both said, like, we've been in some hard spots that we didn't think that we would be here today, you know, happy with our life. You know, the storm finally fucking ended. We did get out of it, though. We didn't let the enemy win. And like, we should be proud of ourselves, because obviously, like, you bring that up. I didn't mean to bring down like your guys' feels or anything. I just love to give that reminder, because like, I even knew someone this guy in high school. He was like a senior, you know, he obviously went his whole life. He was like head of the football team, you know, going to college the next year. And he ended up doing that to himself in high school. And everyone was so confused, because they thought he was very happy. And, you know, he had a girlfriend, multiple things. And like, you just really never know. You really never know. So just check on.
Often very funny people are like suicidally depressed.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you just got to check on people, guys. Like, it could literally be your sister, your brother, your friend, your neighbor, anybody. Like, just treat people with kindness and give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes, literally.
Yeah, and rest in peace to, you know, that person.
No, rest in peace to her. Rest in peace to obviously just everybody out there that did not get to make it as far as they wanted to make it. I'm sorry for you guys. And just people who are struggling with those type of thoughts right now, like, you guys will get through it. You guys just got to give it time. Like, I know the day by day process and like literally counting the minutes, counting the hours as you're in every day. Like, that's the hard part. I really know. And you're in your own mind, you're in your own thoughts, but you just have to like low key force yourself into that mindset of just like, yes, I feel this way right now and I don't like myself. I don't love myself, but eventually I will. Like eventually somebody will love me. Eventually somebody will treat me right. Eventually I'll treat myself right.
And it's
And
worth it.
literally
You just have to endure life sometimes, and it's just a waiting game, until you get to the other side. But there is another side.
Right. And just to shorten it up, my fifth one, I'm grateful for my family, of course, and for myself. So that's it. Ruby, you can go ahead with your 5 things.
All right. I'm grateful for you for being just such an amazing and powerful influence in my life. Just randomly meeting on a Halloween costume contest. It sounds like out of a storybook. It's so random, like on John Galt's channel, like The Landlord. But so I appreciate you and the show and the dedication and your friendship and your positive influence on everyone. I appreciate my job for being extremely accommodating to me. It's, they've been very understanding of the situation I was dealing with last week. And it's a job that really enriches me. I'm surrounded by books and, can read like the Bible or any C.S. Lewis or philosophy.
Yes, absolutely.
It's really enriched my life and I get paid for it. Oh, and then I'm so lucky I also make money streaming. And it honestly feels like a dream to me. Like just that level of success is enough for me to be like, damn, I'm able to live a very simple life compared to like I used to work in restaurants, like, running around all the time. So I was like a teenager. So that was a long one.
But, so you're just grateful for like the life that you can have.
Yeah. I'm grateful for chat. I feel like a parasocial attachment right back to chat. I'm grateful that God gave me a creative.
We actually do care for them, though. That's the thing. Like we literally, guys, and you guys stress us out. Like that's why.
Yep, we're rested.
We have certain episodes on certain things. Like you guys stress us the fuck out, and we just want to help you.
Serious. But also, don't get it twisted because we are both celibate and not interested in any romance or anything like that. Oh, all right. Other thing I'm grateful for.
We can do a whole nother episode on that, Ruby, because I don't
think we really need to. That and like male-female relationships online. We could do a lot with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Grateful for there's the new thrift store that's near my job and it has awesome things. I'm grateful for my look. I feel like I'm bringing the visual today.
Let's see. Put you on solo. Let's give you the floor. Get you on solo. Solo dolo.
I'm also grateful that I'm in the best shape that I've been in since I was 22.
Hey, shout out to Ruby for being skinny and rich and always young. Don't play with her. Yes, the red pants are definitely giving today, Ruby. I'm not gonna lie.
And I have a lot of energy, which is great because there are times when I have no energy. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for Diet Coke and hair. And my hair, I have nice hair. I'm sorry. Now I'm just floating like that. I hate you for this. I hate this.
Good, literally. No, you're so cute. Don't be afraid. All right, let the people see your beautiful face. But all right, guys, what's next on the agenda? Let's see. Okay, so we did our pictures, we did our 5 grateful things. The topic of the day obviously is anger and conflict. Also I did see Hurricane in the building, so salute to you, sir. We already welcomed some people in. Shout out to you, Straighten and Grimace, Annan, Bean, of course. Let's see, anybody new? Radio Foreman, Badass.
Yeah, it's not a good turnout tonight. We're dual streaming. I'm on Twitch, and on X. I think it's actually going through. I'm not sure. And on
that's good. Yeah, I need to start
tonight. Thank you guys for a good turnout. Because we do put a lot of effort into the show, and we really do want to do more than just the show, but create a community that can compete with the darkness, like people who are aligned and want to compete against that.
It's going to be hard, guys, to compete with the darkness. Yeah, but listen, it's already written. God has already won. Light has already won. So just choose on the side. But I don't know.
It's a winning team. Also being friends with Lynx. I've had a great Celebrity Sunday. I have too much to be grateful for. It almost feels like too much.
Yeah, and Universal Hurricane, obviously I told Universal I'd be talking to him tonight. I did kick you from the server, but we will be talking about if we need to have a loan order on this, because I'm sure there's some things that you want to like say to Universal. I'm sure there's some things that he want to say to you. So I can have that. We can set that up. But as for right now, you are obviously kicked from the server, banned from my channel, and we will see. Like, obviously, me and Ruby said, we're always down for second, third, sixth, seventh, and 50th chances. You feel me? Yeah. But at the same time, sometimes you cross a certain line that just like you can't really come back from. So
yeah, because we don't want to have a space where people are dangerous to each other. You know, like we have to be. Now that we have some more people on the Discord and in our chats, we have to, you know, try to protect the group of people here by not allowing a certain behavior to happen. If people cannot change the behavior, we are going to have to make harder decisions about banning people. But we really prefer not to, you know, unless if they cross like a major line, you know.
Absolutely. And okay, so yeah, like I said, guys, we will be talking about conflict and anger. So like what we can do to help us with our anger issues, if we have like anger towards anyone, conflict in our lives, what it can do to our internal selves, what it does to people around us, how they start to think about themselves, why it's so important, obviously, to be able to have restraint and control on our emotions. Obviously, like I keep on saying, we're not just talking to you guys, we're talking to ourselves. As Universal likes to put it, we're just women, so we got to get our emotions together. You feel me?
Wow.
But before we get into obviously the videos that we will be reacting to, let's get into the scripture of the day.
No, we literally, if you knew what we were talking about, Tony, there's no way you would be able to stand by it. Like, so you're just assuming weird shit. We haven't even talked about money or monetization on this channel yet. Like, that's an afterthought so that we can expand.
Wait, what is he saying that?
But we're just starting and trying to build something. So
what
of
is
course
he
people are
haters. What was his comment addressing?
Saying that we only want to like kick out people who say bad things because we care about money and not because we care about protecting people.
First of all, if we already kicked out people out of this channel and we only have 300 something subscribers, I'm pretty sure it's not about monetization. And the people that do get kicked and banned, it's because they like to say negative things, and just even if it's not necessarily like, oh, hate towards us, if you're just gonna bring negativity into a space that's trying to spread positivity, I'm sorry, you gotta go. Like, yeah. So Tony, I mean,
some people are directly trying to harm us in our community. It's targeted, you know, and it's intentional. So obviously we are going to set some boundaries. And if you have to explain what rules and boundaries are for, then maybe you're not mature enough to be in our community, because that's
I keep on saying that, guys. Like, we cannot be at our big age. Like, and I'm only 23 and I got better composure and like decency skills, human decency skills than fucking 30-40-year-olds.
Man.
Like, let's please get it. Shout out to you, True Junkie. Shout out to you, Dirty Curdy. Hey. I just think that it's actually ridiculous. Like, like you said, setting boundaries, like, that's not hard. You know, like, we should be doing that as children. Okay, like, we should be setting boundaries and understanding our emotions as children. So the fact that we had to explain all of these things as adults is kind of actually ridiculous, but we're doing it for the sake of all of us. Like,
it's like, don't threaten people's lives. It's so basic, and especially low lets everything slide. I think people are just like trolling us by like bringing it up or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I will stand on what I stand on to the day that I die. Like, I don't care. Like, I have obviously tried to like keep on letting shit slide, but we will righteously start judging people, and immaturity can righteously be judged. Okay, that's not cute. It's
lay down the law.
Obviously. Oh, nobody lost composure, Alex. We're just bringing in, you know, for anybody. Like, if you have composure issues, if you know you have any type of issues, like, we're just getting to too big of an age where we kind of gotta like stop letting this shit hold us back and being bullies on the internet and as a grown adult. You know what I mean? Like,
an energy black
like
hole.
30 years old and a bully.
It's so embarrassing, and it's just like not what we're about.
Didn't they teach that to you in school, not to bully people and not, you know, to make fun of people? And
well, that's how you get quick attention online. I mean, it's not a very good long-term plan, but people like seeing people
Oh,
in conflict.
wow.
Because it's
Mackenzie
high
said, I
emotion.
sound like ghetto trailer trash. You don't sound like an adult. Well, I appreciate you. Those are your girl Grace's words. So good job copying off of her. But I do appreciate you. You know, obviously, Lowe's just so boring and ghetto and black. And my God is so ghetto. I just, you know, we love it. But God does have my back. So if he's ghetto, hey, then I'm
So
ghetto.
out of nowhere. Nothing about that even resonates. It didn't land. Weak insult. Try harder. Or don't. Or try to be like nice and chill. Why are you? Can you maybe say with your words, what is the issue?
I honestly know, like, hate like this, like, it really does make me happy. And that's why you guys see me smiling. And this might be like a little like crazy on my end, but like it makes me happy because like it really just does like prove the points that me and Ruby talk about like God and the devil and hate
People
and
see it.
and evil. And it's just like I'm on the right side. I know what I'm doing. I know who has my back. I know like the type of person that I am. And what like who I am in real life. So like it's just funny to me. Like it's just hilarious. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, exactly. And it takes up our time.
Let's get back to the yes. We're in church, guys. Okay, it is a Wednesday service tonight.
Yeah.
So
maybe do you want to do like a devotional?
I was gonna let's do our scripture of the day first, and then if you want to do the devotional, we can get into that. Obviously, you can bring the picture up so I can read it. Mackenzie said you live with your parents. I actually don't live with my parents. I house sit my parents' house very often, so people do see that. I have no professional career.
Just lie. They just
you are right about that. I don't have a professional career, but I also am only 23 with no kids, no boyfriend, you know, no, really nothing. So I think I'm okay. You know, I'm in my own life.
Well, doing great. At least she's not in some random chat being a hater on a show about positivity so that you can simp for someone who's an abusive piece of shit who just showed up at my house and chased me to my job. Who's obviously even Grok, the AI asked who's winning in public opinion. Me, landslide.
I mean, come on, that today, like
AI.
I think that today's, you know, scripture of the day, goes with perfectly. Mackenzie says your story changes every other day. Keep lying. Mackenzie, if you actually watch me like you say you watch me, then you would know. So I don't lie. Unfortunately, I do believe in God. That's a sin.
We should mute Mackenzie. Should we put her like in timeout?
No,
because
she's absolutely good. I love addressing her comments, and it proves our points. You know, it's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
But okay, let's get to it. And I think that the scripture today is absolutely perfect. Is absolutely
on point.
Is absolutely perfect, and it's on point.
Someone. That could be Mackenzie right there, staring at the sun, feeling like a fool, but also a child of God who is loved.
A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. And that's from Proverbs 29:11. So this verse deals with the theme of wisdom and contrasting behaviors of a fool and a wise man, of course. The fool is depicted as someone who uttereth all of his mind, meaning that they speak without discretion or restraint. They lack self-control and impulsively express their thoughts and emotions without considering the impact of their words. The implication here is that the fool's lack of self-restraint leads to folly and trouble. They are prone to say things that are unwise, hurtful, or inappropriate, and this behavior can have negative consequences for themselves and those around them. But in contrast, the wise man is described as someone who keepeth it in till afterwards. This suggests that the wise person exercises self-control and deliberation in their speech. They are careful in what they say, choosing the words thoughtfully and speaking at the right time and in the right manner. The wise person understands the power of words and the importance of keeping them wisely and using them wisely. The phrase keepeth it until afterwards suggests that there is a right time and place for speaking one's mind. The wise person understands the value of patience and discernment, knowing that not every thought or opinion needs to be immediately expressed. Ultimately, this verse encourages the reader to consider their impact of their words, to exercise restraint in their communication, and to seek wisdom in their interactions with others. So
that's beautiful, and that inspired me to like read the rest of that
because I mean, guys, like you know how many people have told me on YouTube that I have composure, and it's not even like I definitely like to be, you know, humble. So I don't think that I'm that wise man that the Bible is talking about. Absolutely not. But I think for some of those traits, I definitely do have them. I let people speak before I even get it out. You know, I like to apply the 10-second rule to myself. You know, I like to give myself sometimes 10 seconds before I say something, kind of like let it simmer in my mind, give me the real thought behind it. And like, if I really mean what I'm about to say. And yeah, I definitely know that words are life or death. So I'm going to use them wisely. And I am never going to disrespect someone out of their name. But anyways, shout out to OPC Don also for the $2 super chat. He says, congrats on being monetized again, Ruby. So shout out to you, Ruby.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not even going to trust it until a payment goes through. YouTube has messed with me so many times, but I have a couple $100 in there already, so I'm excited for that. But I love that verse, and I struggle with that a lot with filtering, because I like trying to be authentic and expressive, but I'm not always considering the impact, especially online, as more people are coming into my chat and my words are hitting people different. And in a lot of ways, I'm oblivious to that, but it's something I've been really reflecting on and just praying to God to give me more discretion. And I'm making progress, but it's still something I struggle with. So people can say I'm a hypocrite for speaking on it, but it's true. It's something I struggle with, and it's something I aspire. But that also inspired me to read Ecclesiastes, which I just learned how to pronounce properly.
I just learned how to pronounce that last week too. I'm not even joking. Listen, I literally was reading it from my daily devotional. I said, I do not know how to say this. I immediately went on Google, looked up the pronunciation, and obviously I don't think I still know how to say it to this day. It's kind of a hard one.
Ecclesiastes. Yeah, it was different than I thought. Ecclesiastes, but I looked it up because I wanted to. There was
I thought it was like ecclesiastic or something like that, but then it's like something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. It's something.
But I love it because it's one of the more poetic parts of the Bible, but it also has a lot of wisdom in it. And I highlighted a verse here, and it says, "So I turned to consider wisdom and madness and folly. For what can a man do who comes after a king? Only that was already been done. Then I saw that there is more to gain in wisdom than in folly, as there is more to gain in light than in darkness. The wise person has eyes on his head, but a fool walks in darkness. And yet I perceived that same event happens to all of them. Then I said in my heart, what happens to the fool will happen to me also. Why then have I been so very wise? And I said in my heart that this is also vanity. For of the wise as of the fool, there's no enduring remembrance, seeing that in the days to come, all will have been long forgotten, how the wise dies just like the fool. So I hated life because of what is done under the sun was grievous to me, for all is vanity and striving after wind. I hated all my toil, which I toil under the sun, seeing that which I must leave to, I could literally just read the whole, I don't even know where to stop because it's all so beautiful, it's like, it goes on for a while, but at the end, says, for to the one who pleased him, God has given wisdom and knowledge and joy. But the sinner, he has been given the business of gathering and collecting only to give to the one who pleases God. This is also vanity and striving after wind. Just a lot of good. The thing about being a person is we need repetition. And the Bible has a lot of messages that are over and over. That's just how our brains work. We learn things by repeating them, and it gets kind of like a software installed in your brain, and your neural pathways actually physically change depending on
that's why God obviously tells you to continue to stay in your word, because you might read something one thing, think that you got it, but in reality, just like think of school and a test, like you learned something once, you didn't study, and then you got the question wrong because you didn't continue to work on it and to, practice it and instill it in your mind. So it's the same thing with the word, or not even just the word, just good things in your life that you're practicing. You have to continuously do it and be determined and, have strength in whatever you're doing to be able to keep that into a pattern. So yes, even with the word, you gotta continuously read it so it can what's the word that you use? You said something about
it. It's like a downloading software, or an imprint, and it becomes your nature. Exactly. You can actually change how you feel with your thoughts through repetition. It's just like a hack, really. And if you struggle with reading the Bible, how I started getting back into reading was just reading 1 page a day. If I didn't feel like doing anything or reading anything, I would just commit to that. And then I started craving it, and look at which chapters speak to you. There's some that speak to me way more than others. I read John a lot. I read the Psalms a lot. I read Ecclesiastes a lot. If you want the more poetic side or you want the more wisdom side, It's got it all.
No, I thought that was perfect for and it kind of went with obviously the fool and the wise man also. And yeah, we gotta stay in the light, guys. Like, I mean, it's hard sometimes because there's so much darkness in the world that's calling you and pulling you and reeling you in. But you know, like Alex said, if you keep your focus on Jesus, listen, nothing in this world can stop you. That's literally it. Like, I don't care if it's a man, a gun, anything. It doesn't matter. You're going where you're going. So
the AI told it's literally this is the hack to reality, guys.
And now when I typed in what are going to be like, what is the last days? What is the book of Revelations going to look like? This is the picture that it gave me, guys. The last thing standing is the Bible. Like, if you see all those people on the sides, those aren't people. Those are like deformed ass people that have went through the 7 years of fucking, you know, trials and shit. And, you know, I just feel for all the souls on earth. That's what I can say. I just really like want Jesus to save us all. I know it's impossible, but shit.
Yeah, there's so much suffering in the world. It's incomprehensible. And I don't know. That's why I just feel incredibly blessed and almost like, you know, guilty for, you know, being privileged and living in America and not in like a war-torn area. Or there's just so many different ways of human suffering. And I've definitely experienced a lot of suffering, but you know, I'm very lucky to be at a point where it's definitely not so bad anymore. Still occasionally, but not too bad.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, so with that next, okay, do you want to answer, or do you want to ask like one of the questions first that we have, or do you want to play one of the videos and then ask a question?
Maybe we could do one of the videos just to switch it up because we're coming up on like an hour. I made a little playlist for our videos.
We have a video on how anger works, how we can control our anger, ways to resolve conflict, and controlling our emotions. So what do you want to see first?
Let me see which one I put first. I think I put how the brain works with anger, because I have a book called
so yeah, that was the first one in my thing. Anyways, that's fine. We can just go in order. I kind of put them in order for what I thought we would watch them in.
Yeah, it helps to like know the like mechanics of it and just be like, all right, this is just like a physical thing. It's a reaction, and these are like the ways to handle it that are healthy. All right. Hopefully the audio is good. Streamers.
But it can also destroy the longer we hold on to it, ravaging relationships. Anger, like fire, can be good at times, but it can also destroy the longer we hold on to it, ravaging relationships and lives. Why do we have it? And why is its grip so powerful? Hi, I'm Peter Montoya from Thrive Union, and I'll be sharing our current thinking on anger as part of our How the Brain Works series. Anger developed to help us react quickly to protect ourselves. It arises primarily from an ancient portion of our brain called the amygdala, which triggers automatic responses when we're threatened, commonly known as fight, flight, or freeze. When distinguishing a threat, the amygdala activates the hypothalamus, which tells our pituitary glands to release the hormones like the stress chemical cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine. Before we're even aware, our body is flooded with hormones and neurotransmitters that shoot up our heart rate, energize our muscles, and increase blood pressure, all to get us ready to fight.
Also, if you are like experiencing high cortisol, it can make you gain weight. It can age you faster. It ages your cells. There is an impact on your body physically if you're someone who stews in hatred and anger, and you can see it change someone, and it's wild to watch.
I don't know if I have ever seen someone. Maybe I probably have. I just probably have never noticed it before. But also, just before you really quick, that second, if you're just going off of like what I sent you, when the video that I said for how to control your anger, the 3-minute and 45-minute video, that's the wrong link. So what I'm sending you now is the link to that video.
Oh, okay, got it. Are you sending it on Discord or in the private message?
No, I'm just gonna. I'll put it in the bag. That's easier for us. But I'm just saying because that next video is this one is obviously how the brain works with anger and like why anger is where it comes from, and then the second one is how we can control our anger. So that's the one I'm gonna tag in the back.
I wish we could give like little tests to like chat, like almost like a school, you know, and like hand them out.
Oh yeah, like little tests and quizzes,
like a little homework assignment, or take your little notes like on the video. I don't know why not.
Yeah, no, OPC Don super chatted again, so shout out to you. Thank you so much. He says, Ruby, you need to stream on your channel so we can super.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I will.
And no, guys,
I don't know if it's good to split up the viewers or not. I don't know how that impacts.
I was gonna say I am streaming to my channel, but it's just because I've been trying to get more videos on my channel.
Yeah. I don't mind that. I have plenty of watch hours, so I'm not like,
This is on LOL Angelz currently. So if you guys are in my chat, want to come over here, it's LOL Angelz with a Z. Like the video, subscribe on both ends. It doesn't matter to me. I just am streaming it to my side just because. But
you want to start uploading more content, maybe it's like more little like clips or shorts.
Oh yeah, I need to do that. I need to do that so bad. I have so many.
So good at editing, and like I can already just envision you like doing an edit of like a beautiful like walk and like a Bible verse and just.
Oh yeah, no, I am about to update my like you know how like my intro is my song, but it just has like
it gets stuck in my head.
It just has like the open panel pictures. Basically, I'm gonna go through all my videos and finally clip some shit so I can make like that like an edit like I did for LOL Angelz.
Hell yeah.
But anyway,
yeah, and you need more like I want like nice selfies of you. You're so like gorgeous, but I'm always like taking like screenshots of like for like panels and stuff.
Look, but that's the thing, Ruby. You always ask me for pictures, but I do not take pictures of myself. That's
I know.
I send you the same because I do not take pictures of myself. Like obviously, if I might go out that once in a blue moon, I finally will take a picture of myself. But it's very rare for me to take a picture of myself. But when I do, I will send you new pictures for sure.
All right, let me get the video back on.
Limited, along with our prefrontal cortex, which controls reasoning. Our hippocampus quiets, reducing short-term memory and new memory formation. All this makes us impulsive decision makers who may say harsh words we don't remember after the fact. These reactions helped our ancestors survive wild animal attacks, but the long-term effects ravage our modern bodies. Too much anger compromises our brains and creates high blood pressure, heart disease, and compromised immune systems. Worse, the amygdala has trouble distinguishing modern slights from imaginary threats. So how do we manage our
angry? Like you can feel how like hot your body gets. Like you can literally feel like your heart like almost beating out of your chest. Like that should tell you like something's not right. If I'm physically like heating up, like yes, you should express your emotions, but you need to learn how to like get them in order. So when that emotion comes out, you can immediately like, resolve it. Like you should not be in heat, literally steaming, almost fucking steam blowing out of your ears from anger for, a day, 2 days, 3 days, even hours. Like it's bad for your body. Like
it really is. That's why I try to like make up quickly just for all parties. But I felt so like the worst anger when Grace was like, my mom texted me because she found like Grace and Ben's channel. And she was watching as they were like pulling up my mom's thing and like talking about like my dead brother and saying he was like a junkie and like deserved to die. And we would rather have money than him. And I was furious because I'm like, why are they doing this to my mom who has nothing to do with them? My brother who passed away tragically and me who I offered the bitch a place to stay. I've never seen such like sadism and fucking psychosis in my life.
But like you got to keep remembering the last couple episodes that we've done, like you're talking to a brick wall, you know what I mean? No matter what you say to them, no matter how you feel about a situation, they're gonna continue to stay the same or continue to do what
they've already done everything they can fucking do except like literally physically fucking attack me. And now it's just
let's pray against that, God forbid.
Well, the restraining order actually might still go through. I got like a little court update. It just didn't go through as like an emergency restraining order because those are harder to get to get through.
Scans of murder show damaged or less active prefrontal cortexes, showing that one key way to combat anger is to strengthen that area. But can you grow gray matter? Yes. So research shows that meditation has been shown to both shrink the amygdala and grow the prefrontal cortex. Research also shows that venting or suppressing anger actually builds it. Instead, mindfully observe your feelings or try reframing them. Imagine learning.
A subtitle person, I always love closed captioning.
Oh, me too. I should put it on. That's a good idea.
The driver who cut you off just lost their child. Your anger would likely immediately turn into compassion. Our imagination can trigger the amygdala or quiet it. Try creating stories that reframe an offender's actions when there is no real threat. And don't forget meditation. Meditation is by far and away the best practice for reducing all recurring negative emotions. Changing how we approach our anger literally changes our brains. It frees us from the tyranny of automatic responses and helps us enjoy greater health, longevity, and fulfillment so we can thrive.
Thrive Union is a real-world community unlike.
Also, I don't know what someone said. Lisa's getting like, I'm not doing passive aggressive pulling up comments. I like pulling up all the different comments, and I know chat likes it too, but some of them are a little spicy. I want to, yeah, exactly, Adam. He fucking just does. Like, this is real life. It's not a game, but there's people who are so internet brained, they literally can't differentiate between reality and entertainment. Like, to them, some people still think I'm like scripted. Like, they're like, oh, she was in on the stalking. And it's like, no, we're all streamers who share our lives, but also actual crazy shit is happening. How is that not like, people don't get that? It drives me nuts.
They won't get it.
I don't. It's positivity. Like it's okay if people don't understand. You know,
focus on the good things. But okay, guys. So that's how obviously anger gets in your brain. They did give you guys a couple examples of how you could possibly get rid of anger. So meditating, obviously praying could be one of them. Those are two. I mean, they're not the same thing. They're two different things, but kind of the same.
Anger, like.
But the video of how to control your anger is another 3-minute, 45-minute or 48-second video. And yeah, that's the one right there.
Awesome. I realized that
losing your temper. I just want to shout out Tracy. Shout out to you for the $5 super sticker. I really appreciate you. Like the video, guys. Subscribe, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone who's been tuning in today.
Of weakness. As soon as I made that connection, I said to myself, "This is weak. I'm gonna try not to do it anymore." And what's weird is when you're a kid, I don't know if you remember this, but when I was a kid, and you'd see someone get angry, and it made you afraid. And so for a while, I saw it as like a power. You know, it's kind of a way to achieve power, that you can lose your temper and then all of a sudden you have this extra strength. And so when you're a little kid, and when I say a little kid, I mean, when I was 13, 14 years old, I thought, hey, if I could get that rage going and people are scared like I used to feel, that's a positive thing. And then, like I said, as I got older, now, now you're talking 16, 15, 16, 17, I realized, hey, this isn't cool. This isn't strength. It's actually weakness. And when I realized it was weakness, and I didn't realize that overnight, but I started getting the idea that was weakness. And now when you see someone that is in control, and even when bad things are happening, they're standing stoically.
Dude, that's so true. When I'm angry, I don't like being angry and enraged because I'm out of control. I do things I regret. It's embarrassing.
Most of the time,
it's like get it together. I should be able to handle myself.
Yeah, most of the time when people are angry, they regret the things that they said or they've done. And like, I feel like that is just a, in-person thing. You don't need to watch a video on how to control your anger or somebody telling you that. Like, it's just a sign that you should be able to like tell yourself like, oh, if I regret every single time or everything that I do every time that I get angry, it might not be a good thing. Like that would be something smart to tell your guys self. But yeah, no, this part of the video though, I think that this is definitely like, it just speaks words. He's definitely speaking some facts on us right here. So
yeah, I like him.
He's saying, okay, let me take another look at that and I'll get it done. You know what I mean? When they're just, okay, then you realize, okay, this guy's really unflappable, which is a lot more impressive. Yeah. So again, you got to be able to detach from this. And, I like to take pride in the fact that I'm going to keep my cool no matter what happens. And definitely once you're in the SEAL teams, you definitely want to be that guy that's keeping your cool no matter what's happening. Whether it's
that's the person who's in control.
That's what was his point when he was younger. He thought that it was like, having anger was a strength, it made him strong. In that moment, he would be something bigger than what he is. And he has this like uncontrollable, whatever the word that he used. But then once he got older, it didn't take him, day by day, or it didn't happen overnight. But then he realized like, no, like actually anger is a weakness. It's not a strength. If you can compose yourself and hold your tongue back from someone who might be going off on you, disrespecting you, like that's more of a strength than anything, literally. Like,
like freaking out over every little thing just makes you seem like really sensitive. Honestly, it's such a it's the opposite of what you would want to project, And I'm speaking on myself too. I'm very
People are
No,
doing the
I'm
wrong thing, or you just want to be the guy that's, hey, okay, come back over here. We need to redo this. You just want to be that guy.
Yeah.
That's way more impressive than the guy that says, I can't believe this. Don't be that person. So, and I've talked about this before. What are the pre-event indicators that show you or reveal to you that your temper is about to be lost? What are they? Is it you clench your fists, right? Is it you raise your voice and you start doing that stuff? Do you start the heavy breathing? Do you flare your nostrils, right? Because that's an animal thing where you're going to take in more oxygen, so you open up the nostrils because you're about to get after it. Do you, does your head, shaking or whatever? Just like these things. What is it? What indicators do you have when you know that you're starting to feel that? And as soon as you feel that, you detach. You go, oh, that's what that is. That's an indicator. And it's a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like weakness. So I'm not going to allow it. And then, take a breath. I like to say, you know what? Here's a good one. You want to get through that moment. Nod your head slowly.
And just pause that really quick, Ruby, because
right?
if you guys don't notice, I
someone
often do that very much so. When people are like trying to get under my skin or like trying to, say some things, I'll sit there for a minute, I'll just be shaking my head up like, like, I hear what you're saying. And like, it's not even
all
like
that naturally. Like, you're
saying.
just naturally like that.
Condescending way either. It's not even in like a type of way where I'm trying to like make you seem like, oh, I know what I'm talking about, or more like, no, I'm really trying to just like let what you said simmer in my mind for a second. Let me really take it in and make sure that I don't say anything that I'm going to regret to you afterwards. And I can say that since I've taken that and impacted that into my life more, I would say 9 out of 10 times that I had maybe have an argument with someone or a debate, even if it's on YouTube or real life, I don't regret what I say. And I usually stand on what I say because I take that second, I take that breather, and I shake my head in confirmation. Like, yep, I'm hearing what I'm hearing. And let me just take a second. Like, let me take that breath. That's it. That's all.
No, that's really good advice, because sometimes, just pausing. And for me in general, if I'm fighting with someone,
you guys see me do that all the time. I just be shaking my head. Yep, whatever you guys say.
You literally just naturally do that. That's so funny.
Man, that shit is funny. I don't think men succumb to rage more than women. Probably statistically true as well. I'm not sure.
Telling you something.
Videos are for all of us, not just the men watching. It's for the women.
Yeah, for me,
I agree that women, we do have a problem with controlling our emotions. So these videos are
women absolutely just as much. Don't think this is a call out for only men, because women can be even more ruthless. Holy shit. And they can be even more in their feelings. And women, they say hell hath no fury as a woman scorned or whatever, so it's for everyone, and definitely for myself, and it's always good to remind yourself. And that's a really good technique to just kind of like get through, that moment.
That's making me mad. I'll just slowly nod my head. Like, I understand. This is the way things are. Yep. I accept this. And this is, I'm calculating what my next move is.
What did I just say, bro? That's exactly me. I'm literally calculating my next move. Like, what am I going to say? What does this person need to hear from me? What does this person need to hear in their life? Not just for me. Like, you know what I mean? And some things I won't even say to people because either it's too obvious for you not to get, or it's just
whatever.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked it.
Oh, no, you're good. I was done with it.
So bad at the tech side, but we're
good.
I sometimes I'll accidentally put it in another window and it gets annoying.
Or guys will count to 10. You tell your little kids that. Tell your little kids when they start losing their temper, you need to count to 10. Count to 10. Count to 100. Count to 1,000. Whatever it is you got to do, and get control. Because, like I said, if you're losing control, it's not strength; it's weakness.
That shit is a weakness, guys. Please don't let anger win. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and it usually just brings more destruction for the angry person. It's literally lighting yourself on fire to hurt someone else.
I seen your message. I can pull up the other videos for you.
Well, while you did, I can also show. I had a little show and tell item and also a present.
Oh yeah, before we play not this video. I didn't mean to play this video.
Hey, what's up, Dancing? Dancing thought your panel was hilarious. I mean, there was some fucking funny moments, but
thank
we
you.
were
Yeah.
watching part of it today, like just dying laughing. Like
Yesterday's panel, I think, was definitely something crazy. But shout out to you, Dancing on the Sun. I like to have like, I feel like I did better with maybe controlling my panel a little bit better yesterday, so it could have been even crazier. But I'm glad that it entertained some people.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Let me see. I'm trying to.
Okay. I have always enjoyed lots of various crafts, but one of them is needle felting, and I made these like little stuffed animals.
Really?
And I just found them today. I haven't done it in a while, but I found them, and I was like, "Oh, I should give you one."
watched like satisfying videos on that. You do not do that. Wait,
Yeah.
those are
Dude,
so
I fucking love it,
cute.
and I make these like little dogs that have, like little hearts. It's like inspired by like I can do the full screen. They take like forever to make, but I love them. I want to get back into it.
Oh my gosh, Ruby, I'm absolutely in love with that, and I did not know you did that. Like the felting, those are so cute.
They're precious. I love
Those
making
can
them.
be-
But
hey,
I want to
let
give
me
you
know
one
with
as
the
a
hats. With
as
the
a
hats,
gift.
that can just be another part of like the LOL Angels merch is our felting little dogs.
Exactly. Like, why the fuck not? These are.
Oh
I
my
love these.
goodness, no, I absolutely love that. That is so cute. Ruby, no, because
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's a perfect like show and tell thing to also show another side of me and one of the crafts that I do, like off of.
yeah, and eventually, shit,
I've
I'm
really
sure
shared much.
like you like making those. Like we can get each Discord member in there. Shit.
Yes,
Maybe
and
one
I
with your little
it is
name.
really sad. For the people who don't know, needle felting is super satisfying to watch. Maybe towards the
I
end we can
watched
watch
I watched
some
those
of it.
videos and I'm like in love with them. Literally, I'm in love.
I used to make like little edited videos, put them like on my Instagram, but I didn't, why is this like not? I don't know why it's not
I
letting me
think
access
stop
this page.
sharing your tab and then
Oh, got it. Boom.
All right, guys. So first two videos, how anger works, what we can, do to control our anger a little bit, like the signs of it, what's gonna, what's those first signs that you know that you're gonna get angry, kind of spurge out a little bit on someone, take a step back, give yourself 10 seconds to kind of breathe, rethink, what are you gonna say to this person? What does this person need to hear? Things of that. And then this video is other ways, so 14 effective ways that you can resolve conflict. So let's get into these.
Good to know.
Brainy Dose presents 14 effective conflict resolution techniques. When we have a difference of opinion with somebody, we often try to correct them, to convince them that our point of view is correct and theirs is not. After all, we would never hold a point of view we thought is wrong. Yet, we all know from experience how difficult it is to get others to admit to being wrong. It is usually not only futile, it often leads to real conflict. Thankfully, there are a number of effective conflict resolution strategies, so consider giving them a try. Number 1,
Just give it
don't
a try.
get defensive. In any conflict, whether it's professional or personal, we all feel the urge to rush to our defense. You may find yourself constantly trying to correct the other person's position with but, nevertheless, however, in defense of your own position before they are even finished explaining their opinion. Try turning the situation around. How do you feel when another person is constantly contradicting you and seems
Wait, can you
unwilling to
pause it?
consider your opinion? Take a moment and
That's one skill that I gained like a lot working in food service for like 16 years is that I would deal with a lot of conflict from customers. I turned it into a challenge for myself. If a table was rude, I would always just be like, as a challenge, see, how can I win them over? Like my challenge to myself is to win them over no matter what bullshit they say, you
Right.
know, and it
I
would
think
almost
that's
always work out best for all of us, you know?
Well, that is absolutely a great tag. And I think that was obviously the first one, like trying to see someone's perspective from their view, because I often tell people that all the time. Like I'm looking at, some people might think that this person is wrong or that person is wrong. But like I always say, like you never know what someone is going through. So I always try to like look through their lens. How could they possibly see the situation as wrong, or how could they see me as wrong? And it really does like kind of just give not only them grace, but yourself grace. Cause you're like, damn, like I didn't see it from their point of view. And now I do. So it just makes it automatically better. Like, don't get defensive. Just take a second to listen, and then sit on it, think about it, and then decide whether or right you feel that you're right or wrong, and how you can convey that to a person without disrespecting them or being defensive.
And it's embarrassing when you like misinterpret something and freak out, like, and it turns out the person wasn't even like insulting you.
Yes,
so it's just always better to hold it, and you're like, oh shit, I'm so glad I didn't say something. It's embarrassing.
That is, I seen that happen the other day on someone's channel. Someone had like commented something and someone immediately blew up on them, but they like weren't meaning, like, I guess the person just like, the streamer hadn't read it right. So they immediately started going off on this person, like, oh, fuck that person, fuck this bitch, and that whatever. And then this person like explained themselves in the comments, but they were just so much on like that anger streak and what they were saying. Like, they didn't even care what they were saying in the chat. And they just kept going off and making themselves sound dumb. And I was like, you gotta feel embarrassed. Like,
it just makes them look like you have nothing better to do with your time on this planet, this precious planet with so much beauty, so many things to do, and you choose to just go in a random chat room just to be like hateful. It's like, it seems like loser shit, honestly, but also children of God, whatever.
Yeah, nothing better. They're just bored. We got to find some things to get on our plate,
Yeah, bored and anger, and they need to handle the anger maybe differently and not lash out at random people.
Really try to see things their way. They have reasons for their point of view, just as you do for yours. This doesn't mean that you have to accept their position, but if you let them know you are taking them seriously, you can avoid things getting personal. Try using phrases such as, I understand what you mean, and that's a valid point. Signal that you respect their opinion, even if you don't agree. Number 2, avoid the blame game. When you feel under attack and go on the offensive, even calling the other person's character or intelligence into question, you cannot really win. All you've done is made an enemy.
They're not voodoo dolls.
Avoid blaming
They're
others.
just little dolls.
Instead,
regular.
Establish an atmosphere of respect, one in which everyone.
And I always say that because like people obviously ask me all the time, oh, why do I just give people respect that I don't possibly know? But everyone always deserves that ounce of respect of just being a human being. You know what I mean? Like, who are we to say like, oh, we're right and they're wrong, and like what I say is the truth and they're like, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I'd rather just very much give someone respect in the beginning than possibly like misinterpreting what type of person they are, or whatever they're saying, and then being wrong, or possibly just like, not seeing it in that moment. Oh, this is actually a good person, and what they just said is just something that I don't necessarily agree with. Like, you don't have to hate this person or disrespect this person if you don't agree with them.
Exactly.
Instead, establish an atmosphere of respect, one in which everyone can safely express themselves. Let others state and explain their points of view without launching an attack. Number 3, listen actively. Perhaps the greatest way to resolve a conflict is by really listening.
Sorry, guys. I always got my app.
You want to express
Bro,
yourself.
we need to get that premium.
So let others
I'm
express themselves. Instead of listening just to discover flaws and formulating counter arguments while they are speaking, listen to what they have to say. You may discover that you didn't really understand the point the other person was actually making. You may discover common ground. In any case, they will respect you for listening.
Oh, yeah, I actually have an example of that
Begin
for how my
statements
channel,
with
like,
I.
it got famous for, I got my first like little boost on YouTube from a conflict where I called someone racist for something he said about like some black woman who was like incarcerated for something. But basically it turns out like there was more common ground than we had initially thought. And even though I called him, we ended up like becoming friends, and actually still keep in touch with him to this day. But it just always feels so much better. And then you have a new friend and connection, and that's how the world works. It runs in collaboration. You can't be an island, or you're gonna fail.
Said, you just might not understand that person's point of view as soon as you hear them. So just like take a second. I mean, even if you have to ask them to repeat themselves, like that is better than you not understanding like what that person is meaning and possibly having like an enemy at that point. Like,
Yeah.
Literally. But I'm glad that you got to have a situation like that, Ruby, where you could listen to someone else's point of view and kind of understand where they were coming from. And you made a new friend, because that's always good.
Right. That's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you begin statements with you, it sounds like you are pointing.
Because Papi Chulo has put this in the chat 2 times. He said, "I want to apologize to Ruby and Lo. Can you ladies forgive me?" Papi Chulo, I'm not sure exactly what you did to me. I'm not even gonna lie. But if you're asking for my forgiveness, of course you can have it.
He was mad at Links at one chat. He's been popping off about people, but I always forgive and forget. I just am naturally forgetful and forgiving. So I have no ill will as long as you respect. We're gonna have to set up some basic community guidelines, since apparently people aren't having that instinct naturally to behave well. So just be respectful to everyone and don't lash out. And maybe this is a good video for you to watch. But I have no bad feelings towards you. We're basically.
I was gonna say, no, what you said, Ruby, is like I naturally easily forget things and forget very easily. Like I'm a very forgiving person.
I just move on. Like I stop caring, and it presents an issue because I open myself to repeat offenders.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I don't care anymore. And then it just happens.
Like
over
you do that like a lot. Like you probably forget what people say to you or what they did to get banned in the first place, and then you'll just be like, all right, you can come back, and then they do the same shit over and over again.
Dude,
like,
it's fine.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle that we got to break.
I know.
We're finger at the other person. This actually betrays a weakness on your part. Your opinion should stand on its own merits, not rely on another person's flaws. If you think that the other person is not allowing you to express yourself, just let them know how that affects you. I feel like I'm not being understood is far less confrontational than you aren't listening. The first statement relates to yourself. The second one is directed at the other person.
Oh, I'm not gonna
destined to
lie,
put them on the defense.
Practice that. Like I think I first heard about just like that type of lesson and that type technique probably like 2 years ago, and I started practicing it like once I heard it. And I can say that it actually does make a difference of using some like a sentence that starts with I instead of you, because when somebody automatically hears you, they think they're like you're automatically going to put the blame on them. So if you start with I, they're going to be like, okay, what is this person going to say about themselves? And then if you just say like, as you've seen, oh, I'm not understanding, or I feel like you're not understanding my point of view, they will probably take a step back and be like, okay, like we're not understanding each other. Like that'll just give someone, like both parties, a second to just sit and think. Like, and so I definitely like that's a full on example of something that can definitely be true and used into your real life, because I used to do that shit all the time. Like even like, name blaming and shit like that, and like people like blaming shit, and that's just not fun. That's not really cute. You got to take accountability on both sides, and
it just shows like low self-esteem that you feel so threatened all the time by like any random person. It shows that like there's a vulnerability. It's
just nice to hear like from both sides that if a person does say to you, oh, like you're not understanding my point of view, and then that person takes a second and like asks you, okay, well, like explain to me what you're trying to explain. It's nice to know that you're being heard and that person is listening. So that's just another good point, and just another like add-on to like being nice to someone and trying to get their point of view, is somebody actually is like hearing you and listening to you. So
offensive. This can make a big difference in a conversation. These kinds of I statements give the other person a chance to pause and rethink their own behavior. It can lead to an atmosphere of mutual respect. Number 5, tame
it's like
your
me
emotions.
and Links. We made up, and now we have a great
yeah, that's a perfect example. Literally, like you guys did not like each other. Like you guys even explained kind of how you guys met, what you guys first thought of each other, things like that there was a misunderstanding between you two, and then now you guys are friends and cool. Like that's literally the prime example of that.
Yeah, and we can all lift each other up and work together, and it's, I don't know, I hope we get more of that and less of the other toxic stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Anger or frustration is a bad strategy for resolving conflicts. When you're emotional, your rational thinking shuts down, and you can't formulate an acceptable outcome. Don't unload your emotions on others. Wait until you calm down so that you can discuss things in a reasonable manner. Throw a tantrum if you want, but do it before you speak with them. When you are calm and rational, you can make your own points better. and you are
and I
open
just
to
wanna pause
different.
really quick because Hurricane acts like he wants to be in the chat, but then he just comments things like that, and it's just like you want to be back in the community, but you can't stop talking shit. Make it make sense. That's us, guys. That's us, big and buff, big and strong.
Yeah, we are just power hungry, crazy.
So power hungry to put people in.
They're really reaching,
perspectives.
man. They're just going random.
Number
The
6,
insults are
show that
random.
you can
Like,
compromise.
it's random.
Depending on the situation, some approaches to conflict management may be more effective than others. Sometimes simply being accommodating and
All right,
avoiding
I know. I'm not
conflict
mad at
is
that
the
picture. It's
best
actually
move.
funny. I like it.
No, it definitely can be a joke, but I think like when you're already like going through things, trying to get back into a community, like let's just like try to be on our best behavior, you know?
I think this is hilarious, and I thought it was funny.
No, that meme is
funny
fucking
often. Just the saying things about threatening lives, Paro.
that
That
meme.
just can't be a part of our community. What the hell?
Yeah, no, that meme is fucking hilarious. And it's not even about the shit yesterday of just obviously the very insulting thing that you said. It's also just the respect that you have for a panel. You know what I mean? You kept saying that I was being power hungry yesterday, or even Universal was, but it is my panel, and I can like bring up, take away anybody who I like. So even if you want to call it power hungry, like if you don't like what's going on and how I handle things and how I like deal with situations and put people in the back, then no offense, Pero, but please go start your own channel and let people come up and see how disrespectful people can be.
Yeah.
And then people understand where we're coming from, that you have to crack down. You have to set boundaries and set lines for people that they can't cross. Like, and if people are constantly disrespecting you on that space, then no, like, it's just not going to work out. Like, that's just not what is clicking. It's an audacity respect type of thing. Like I give everyone on my panel more respect than I should give them because it is my panel, but I do because I'm a nice person. But now when Lo wants to, finally put someone in the back, or finally, do something that isn't being ran over, I'm the mean person. Like, what do you guys want from me? Honestly, like, please tell me.
I know I don't know what is going on in some people's heads. It's interesting though. I'm like, well, I'm curious.
Especially if you don't care much, one way or the other. A competitive strategy might be much more useful when you have to come to some sort of decision and need to assert yourself. In most conflicts, however, the only way to come to some sort of resolution is through compromise. You have to come to some acceptable agreement in order to move forward. Show others that you don't always have to insist on your own way, even if you still think you are right. Others will appreciate you for putting a solution before your own pride. Number 7, don't badmouth someone to others. Unless you really need to, you should not spread around details of a conflict you are having with someone. You will only make them feel betrayed, and the only way they can defend themselves is by badmouthing you. This does not make you look good. There are other ways to vent anger or frustration than talking someone down. If you just have to do that, do it in front of a mirror, write it down, or talk to someone who doesn't know who you are talking about. Trust and respect are essential for resolving conflicts. Number 8, don't take it personally. We tend to regard our opinions or actions as a direct reflection of who we are, so we get defensive. However, when someone disagrees with your opinion or criticizes your performance, don't take it as an attack on you personally. Someone might think your opinion is flawed or your performance can stand improvement, but that does not mean they think you are a terrible person. They may even have a point. Realize that if you can distinguish between what they are criticizing and yourself as a person, it will become much easier to avoid personal conflict or resolve differences in a way that is acceptable to everyone concerned. Number 9, pay close attention to nonverbal communication. Dealing with conflicts directly is not everyone's forte. Some people prefer to be accommodating or even avoid conflict whenever possible. They are uneasy with conflict and would rather say or do almost anything.
I only got comfortable with it as I got older. I used to be very avoidant.
To this day, even though like you might see me like have a debate with someone, in reality, I try to avoid conflict as much as possible, especially in my real life. Like I will literally go walk away, fucking drive away, go in another room, like start joking about something else, change the topic. And I don't like to be a deflector either, but if somebody's trying to start conflict with me, like that is the last resort. Like that is the last resort to me. Like if you really make me have conflict with you, you have gotten me out of my character, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Themselves an unpleasant situation. This can lead to building emotional pressure. Since they are not being honest with you, you may not be aware of this until it comes to a head. So, don't just take people at their word. Be aware of nonverbal communication that betray emotions, such as body language, facial expressions, eye contact, and voice tonality. "I'm okay" should not be very convincing if they are sighing, averting their eyes, or fidgeting. If you learn to pay attention to these cues, you will sense when their words do not match their feelings. Then you can take steps to encourage them to be more honest with you. Number 10, prioritize resolving the conflict over being right. You might think that someone is being unfair to you or that something just isn't right. Maybe you regard yourself as the victim of a compromise or perhaps of some change of policy at work. You can easily get frustrated and emotional about it. Usually, the situation is not just about you. Calm down and reassess things. The compromise or decision might have been made for the sake of the common good. Yes, you may indeed be right, but you should consider whether you really want to insist on your point of view at the cost of the conflict and resentment it may cause. Not every battle is worth fighting. Number 11, know when to apologize and forgive. Telling someone, "I'm sorry," can be very difficult. This is especially true when you feel like you have nothing to apologize for. And if someone has hurt you in some way but won't admit to the wrong, you may get so upset that you won't ever want to forgive them. Yet, you should consider that resolving a conflict is often preferable to maintaining your pride. People make mistakes, and just like you, might have a problem admitting to them. If you can put aside your resentment and forgive them, you could make way for an even better relationship with them. Resentment is a bad investment of time and energy.
Yeah.
Number 12, focus on the present, not the past.
Absolutely.
When you are in a conflict with someone, it can begin to get personal. You may start to remember other conflicts you had with them in the past and get resentful. You might even bring them up in order to attack them, even though it may have nothing to do with the issue at hand. One way to avoid this is to use a 48-hour rule. If someone does or says something that bothers you, bring it up with them within 48 hours. If you don't, just let it go. Don't use past conflicts as a weapon when you are engaged in a new conflict. The other person will resent you for doing so, and it will just make it harder to come to a resolution. Number 13, use humor when appropriate. Humor is a great technique for dissolving tension. It's hard to be upset when you're laughing, right?
Bro, that's
But you must
one
be
of mine,
careful.
too.
You should avoid humor that could offend your counterpart or makes fun of his or her position or anything else that might be sensitive to them.
We're calling on all late-night coders, early morning gamers, self-proclaimed space geeks, stargazers.
Be aware of the other person's sense of humor. Some people can take a joke, but others can't. Use humor only as a way to break the tension and focus at least temporarily on something other than the subject of conflict. Self-deprecating humor, poking fun at yourself, is one method for achieving this. A well-timed humorous remark might be all that is needed to calm emotions and make all involved parties more receptive to a practical resolution.
Absolutely.
Number 14, remember the importance of the relationship. At a given moment, the topic of contention might seem to be extremely important. Conflicts, however, arise constantly and are almost always temporary in nature. Solutions are almost always discovered. Remember, relationships usually last, for good or ill. Insisting on your point of view is rarely worth the cost of losing a friend or worsening any relationship. After all, conflicts tend to fade, but people usually stick around. How will they regard you? Think about how important the subject of discussion is to you compared to the relationship you have with your contender. Make sure you weigh the gains of winning against what they can cost. Maintaining good relationships will better enable you to resolve future conflicts.
I
What
also
do
have
you
a good
think?
another
How do
good
you deal
example
with
of a
conflict?
public conflict that got resolved. But there was a time I went on Killstream and Milo Yiannopoulos was on there and he was saying horrible things about a journalist I like named Christina Buttons. And Ethan Ralph was the host of the show, and I started yelling, and I got rude, and they kicked me off the show. And then I like cried. We're not like literally cried, but I was like bitching on my channel and like calling him names. And then he called me names. But literally later that night, I was like, I'm sorry, I was out of line. That's your show. He's a huge guest that I'm disrespecting a connection. All of a sudden I really saw it from his angle, and I was just like, I was just in my feelings, and like, and he apologized too, and it literally it's
made
fine,
everything
our
feel better.
friendship continue, like,
And it made everything feel better. You feel like obviously what you had said, it was so just out of order and out of touch. It's just like, why did I even say
yeah,
those?
and he did the same. So it's like we both just owned it and moved on. It's like, okay, we have temper sometimes, and then move forward.
And that's what you thought about, obviously, like you said, his show and maybe just like the relationship that you guys had possibly had, regardless if that was, future past reference, whatever. And that's much more like meaningful than just the winning the argument at hand, literally.
Exactly.
So there's 1 minute left in this video. I'm just gonna let it play to the end. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Conflict. Do you use any of these strategies? Share your thoughts and comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends so we can.
Yes,
You can ask them that question or some of the questions that you had, like how do you guys deal with conflict? Do you guys have any ways besides like meditating or prayer, talking to God, that you guys could possibly look towards to help you get rid of like an angry thought, or just in the midst of an argument, in the midst of a storm, to make you feel better? Anything like that, any type of whatever. Anyways, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm curious for chat. How do you guys handle, or like, how do you know when it's time to ban? Like, what do you think is ban worthy? I'm kind of curious. Like for me, I think it's like threatening violence and like slurs. I don't know how YouTube or I feel like in a joking context, I don't mind. But if someone's like heavily like insulting someone and like, something like that, I would at least like kick them. But banning is, I don't know. Dude, he's still, I don't know. I don't want to, whatever. I don't know him or his deal, but like the thing with Christina Buttons is she's a journalist who's I like a lot. And she had an old video that he released, and they were saying that she like slept her way to the top and is a whore and she needs to be shamed for it. And it was the same week that my stalker and Grace were posting all of my old videos. So of course I'm heavily relating to her. And I just like popped off on Milo and got kicked off the show. And they were like, oh, fuck that junkie whore. And I was like, fuck you, like whatever, But it's like once the rage wears off, I'm like, I get like his perspective. I was wrong. Like I'm frequently wrong. What are you going to do? Except like just try to accept it and move on. But it's like it's when it's vague, it's hard to know. And people like are like, will come on other things, be like, oh my God, please unban me here and here. And then I don't know, guys. But I also wrote down something I've noticed is like enjoying a little bit, like of the fact that Grace got fat, I got skinny, they got demonetized, I got remonetized, etc., etc. Just the insane, even Grok saying I'm winning. But like this attitude of, oh, I'm winning, that's fucking immature and stupid. Like I don't like that. I would take any pleasure in that, or fat shaming her, or like shaming her life, because it's obviously a complex situation. And I don't think it's in my like higher self and values to cast judgment. It's just been difficult given the interactions we've had, Yeah. I guess, well, since it's a collaborative channel, we're figuring it out like as we go,
What was the question that you had asked them, Ruby?
I was asking what they think is like ban worthy. Like, what do they think would be like, it's too much? And I was saying like threats of violence, that's got to be a no. And then people were saying like racism and spamming, but like that's kind of vague.
Me personally, like I have my own personal opinions on racism and things like that, but I don't ban people because of that. As you see, I have a lot of people who say the N-word and all different types of things and racist things. Black people, fucking Mexicans, it doesn't matter. All people they all say racist shit, not just white people. So with having, freedom of speech and whatever, that type of panel, it's kind of hard to kind of like set those boundaries and lines of like, oh, what am I really going to ban? But I do agree with Ruby on the for sure. Like if you're like threatening someone's life, like, oh, I'm going to come kill you or going to come like do this to you, whatever, like that is like, on the lines for banning, of course. But, well, I don't even remember what I was saying. That just completely.
Jesus does. I'm glad that I've been mega humbled in life, and it's forced me to, connect with my true values and led me to a place where I feel happy in my life broadly.
And no, shout out
the sexual harassment. Maybe that we could really do a whole episode on that
every time on my own, personal channel. So it's like.
Whatever at a certain point,
I don't know, and I don't want you guys to think just because like, oh, these aren't, to me, like I'm not banning people off of my channel. It's not because I don't have my own personal opinions. It's just because I can be unbiased to one, and I understand that everyone is not going to be the same as me, and not everyone's going to have the same morals and the thoughts as me. And I can't shut everyone up. I can't kick and ban everyone, because at this point, if I kicked and banned everyone for the things that you guys are saying to ban people for, I would have like 5 subs. Okay, like let's.
I know some of our chatters are like wild.
It's actually crazy. So I don't let my own personal views on shit unless someone's asking me my own like personal like, oh, like how do you feel personally about this? Like, do you apply it to your personal life? Then that's when I'll tell you guys my own personal opinions and how I feel about things. But until then, it's just like, it is YouTube. This is supposed to be a free space where people are allowed to speak, say whatever they want to say. So yeah, I personally, but no, when it does come to like life threats, death threats, and that was the same shit with 44, even though he joked around and put a hit on Pronce's head, I don't fuck around with that shit. So you had to get banned, and he has even came up on my panel, and this is how you know how I'm forgiving. I even gave him a second chance. He was never banned from the panel. He was just banned from my Discord. And I said, if you show up a little bit more and kind of show that you are this supposed changed man that you're claiming to be, then I can give you a second chance, because I have no problem giving anybody a second chance. But if you're just going to continue to do the same shit over and over again, then like I know when to, I can sense when things are a pattern. I know when to cut something off. So,
right. Yeah. You have to trust your instincts and just be like, you know what? It's some people, like I banned every like ZXV account. That's like Greece's biggest simp, and one of the main people who was like spreading my old videos around from like when I was webcam model, and like making sure it was like all over YouTube, and like Grace uploaded the audio of it, like played it on her birthday so everyone could like make fun of my masturbation sounds. Like,
oh, and that's not funny though. See, that's on some shit. Like, obviously, if they're
cruel, they're very cruel people, and I do believe they're capable of really terrible things.
And it also just depends on like the type of person you are, because obviously me and Ruby are different. Ruby might ban someone for something more slighter than I would. For just because, like I said, I am a pushover, but I also just don't really give two shits. Like, this is the internet, guys. I'm not gonna fucking ban somebody over somebody calling somebody some like something. I don't know.
Yeah, totally. But it depends. Some chatters, it's easier to get upset with if it's a chatter we like know, like that comes around a lot and then says something weird, or like we see them in the other chat like acting totally different. Those ones hit different. But if it's a total random person, it doesn't bother me that much.
I mean, not even really just that, because I've had obviously random people like MC Nemesis up on my shit and call me all different types of stuff, and I still let them stay. But I just there's like differences in tones of voice, body languages for the people that do cam up, things that are said, certain words that are used, how you put words into sentences that I'll listen to, and I can determine whether or not like this person is a threat to me and my safety and my channel. You know what I mean?
Exactly. We also need, if we do drop the link, I don't know how you're feeling about that. I could go either way. I don't know. Chat, people are like asking. King wants to come up. Spicoli maybe not. I don't know. Or we could.
We can let some people up soon. We do have one more video to watch about controlling our emotions. I definitely think that we need to get that. It's a short video. But King says, great job. And no, I appreciate you apologizing for how much you talk instead of standing down and giving me the floor. I know you're working on it, doing great. I personally think that I let everybody speak on my channel too much. So
literally.
But at the same time, like a lot of people, like they've expressed to me that they only want, they're there to hear me talk. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes I do got to talk and be a yapper to give the people what they want. But I know
I get watch hours, and it's also
like have a hate love relationship. Like I love King. I think King loves me too, hopefully so. But like he just like we have this little like semi like beef going on, but I still love him. I still appreciate him.
Wait, is it over his weird blanket thing?
No, I think, and that's what I was literally about to say. I know he loves his blanket. I know he's cuddled up with that bitch right now. Like, don't try to do that.
And you're gonna be cuddling up with one of these little cute guys.
No, I'm super excited. Ruby, you listen, and that's why we got to do our IRL soon. Because
I know whenever we do IRL, that'll be like my IRL gift to you.
Jimmy,
if you want to make it for like the people on the channel.
Jimmy, I love you. I love everyone. I still
Jimmy
love
needs one. I'm gonna mail him one.
Like I love everybody. Literally, that's just it.
And we also, I keep forgetting to like get in touch with people for I know Mark Fusion wants a hat. Jimmy wants a hat.
Oh
I just need addresses and maybe shipping money, but I might just have.
I actually am going to be doing, and I think that me and Universal had already picked out a person because this person gave me kind of like the idea for the name of the stream. But I have a blanket that I had made, and it basically is like it's like a man blanket. I'm not gonna explain what it is because I don't want to like give it away, but I will be doing a giveaway with that blanket. Like I said, I think we already have a person picked out because I just feel like you guys obviously give to me. I want to give back to my community, to the people. Like you guys order blankets, I want to be able to give some away. I'm going to be also like having more up for sale, cheaper than like regular prices because they'll already be pre-made and of like what I picked to be made. So we'll basically be having like a little thing on that, but like it's like the same thing with the hats. Like I think like we need to be doing like obviously we need to have our merch and obviously treat shit like it's a business and whatever, but we need to have that like charity type of sense where it's like we need to give back what they give to us too. Like
exactly. And I love like the Discord community, and tonight it started with a really good turnout. I know people like to watch Grace make fun of us because people like seeing the drama and the hate, but I'm really happy with the community that we have and that is growing. We are expanding. We've been going on panels and doing all kinds of shit on our own channels, and honestly, really trying to do outreach and link up with people. And we got Ava came on. We should get. Obviously, we need to get links on here. Maybe next week we can do it.
And we haven't had like an actual special guest. I don't think since
I know it's been a while. Not since like the first episode.
Since Jimmy, literally.
Oh yeah, it was the first episode, and then like Jimmy. I think that was like the last Ava was like a guest. It was like an improv.
No, because we had Glink as one. We had that
was awesome. I still can't believe you did that. It was so cool.
Oh no, Glink, yeah, he needs to come back. We had Smith that other episode, and then we had Jimmy. So we had three technically.
My friend is obsessed with the Smith episode. She thinks it's like a piece of art. She was obsessed.
I think honestly, even though it was a little funny, it was a piece of art because he literally like just played the part of he said he came in with the red lights like I am your guys' snake in your garden. Like okay,
I actually really love it. We were caught off guard, but it also was like a really real, like interesting. He took a risk, and I like that he did that. Like at first, I was like, oh no, he's just gonna like shit on us, but it just turned into a real conversation about doubt and faith. And I thought that was really nice.
Oh, yeah. And we cannot, of course, forget our golden Power Ranger. What do you mean our golden angel, Romano?
Romano. Dude, we've done a lot.
I forgot. Everything. There's been a lot of people.
We've had a lot. Why am I like I totally like blanked out.
No, Romano, you did absolutely amazing.
Romano was awesome.
I want
Dude,
him
we
to
need
come
to
back
do
up.
like a compilation of like best moments. Like,
Yes, Romano was the first guest. Literally, Romano, if you're in the building and you want to come up when we drop the link for when we drop it, you can be, of course, our guest and show us some of your moves, because I think that we need some of that good energy besides the good energy that we're spewing out into the channel today for sure. Like, we need some good panelists. We don't need anybody coming up with the snake act today. We're trying to control our emotions, control our environments. But before we drop the link and get into that, we're at the hour 50-minute mark. I think this video is like less than 10 minutes, obviously. So, and hold on, it's tagged in the thing.
yeah, Romano was awesome. I would like to have another like creative person on to do something kind of like a performance, or I don't know. I like getting
like we need people that like want to get their creative like juices flowing out. Like, well, that Paul
Lynx is very creative. That's why I think she'd be a great guest. She does like her like.
Oh no, I seen she does like her 3D like printing shit and painting. That's really cool. That's really cool. But all right, let me share.
A lot of talent just like in YouTube that it's fun to connect with and show off, like show what our community has to offer.
Yeah, but I feel like there's so many more people. Like, guys, don't be afraid to like tell us that you guys have these like hidden talents, that you guys can play the guitar, or play or sing, or
send us pictures, drawings. We love
anything. Like, we're trying. Like,
it doesn't have to be good. I love when people just try something weird. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect.
That's what I'm saying. And even like MXD, he made us beats. He made us.
I love
fucking not Romano.
We've had songs. We have
Stinky Brew. Mr. Stinky Brew like to draw. He's an amazing artist. Where is Mr. Stinky Brew? I actually haven't seen him in a minute.
Oh, also Ava with her art. We've got to, we should get the artists on soon. Stinky Brew. Yeah, I talked to him about coming on, but there was some, I don't know why it didn't end up working out.
Well, just shout out to him. I haven't seen him in the chat in a minute, but shout out to you, Mr. Stinky.
Yeah, I see him on Discord every once in a while, but not as frequently, but you know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good thing when people take breaks, you know.
Yeah, no, he obviously let us know what was going on the last time he came in, so I understand why he's taking a break. But all right, let's get to this. The power of not reacting, guys. How to control your emotions.
Presents the power of not reacting. How to control your emotions. Do you have a temper and get worked up over the smallest things? If so, you need to learn how to control your emotions. In a world full of stressful situations, it can be easy to get caught up in all the chaos. But by being mindful of your emotions and learning to keep them in check, you can take back control of your life and make positive changes for the future. In this video, you'll learn how to keep your emotions under control and what you should do in those heated situations. Number 1, identify your emotional triggers. Identifying your emotional triggers is the first step to controlling your emotions. Emotional triggers are things that make you feel angry or upset. They can be anything from certain people, memories and places, to specific words and even smells. We all have different triggers, so this requires some self-reflection and introspection. But knowing what triggers your emotions will help you manage them more effectively instead of lashing out in anger. Number 2, take a few deep breaths. Whenever you find yourself becoming overly agitated, take a minute to breathe and calm yourself so that you don't react in a way you'll regret later. Breathing is one of the most effective ways to calm down quickly when you're angry, upset, or frustrated. This can be especially useful if you're feeling overwhelmed by stress. Taking 3 to 4 deep breaths soothes your nervous system and reduces stress, which in turn helps you relax and feel more in charge of your emotions. Number 3, don't bottle up strong feelings. You may think that bottling up strong feelings will make them go away, but this is not true. When it comes to controlling your emotions, the key here is regulation, not repression. Regulating your emotions means acknowledging that you have strong feelings and knowing how to best deal with them in a healthy way, like talking about them or writing them down. Repressing your emotions means avoiding or ignoring what you feel and pretending that you don't care about something, when deep down, you really do. This can cause a buildup of negative feelings and lead to aggression later on down the road. Number 4, use I statements instead of you statements. When you're triggered, your emotions might be storming inside you, but know that your choice of words can either help improve the situation or make things worse. When someone says or does something you don't like, it's easy to say things like, "You always do this," or "You never listen." But using such statements will likely just provoke anger and defensiveness from the other person. So instead of putting blame on someone for your emotions, take responsibility and acknowledge how you feel. For example, rather than saying, "You are always late," say, "I feel upset when you are late because it makes me worry about your safety." This keeps it focused on how you feel, instead of making judgments about the other person's behavior. Number 5, don't raise your voice. Raising your voice is a sign of losing control. When you get angry, it's natural to want to express your feelings and thoughts in the loudest way possible, but this doesn't do anything more than escalate a situation. Conversely, your words will have more power when you use a calm and assertive tone. You may even be able to persuade someone who disagrees with you if your argument is backed by facts and logic. Maintaining your composure helps both parties feel respected and improves communication, making it easier to resolve conflicts. Number 6, avoid making assumptions. Assuming things about other people's behavior or intentions without being entirely sure of them can lead to some pretty explosive moments. Assumptions are dangerous because they are based on incomplete information. If you make an assumption and overreact based on that, the other person may feel attacked and start overreacting too. So next time someone says or does something you disagree with or don't understand, don't jump to conclusions. Instead, ask questions to clarify what they mean before forming an opinion about their calm interaction. This will allow them to explain themselves more clearly so that you can both fully understand one another's position and move forward constructively. Number 7, empathize. When you feel like your emotions are getting the best of you, you may get carried away by them instead of staying rational about what's happening around you. This is especially true when dealing with a difficult situation involving another person. But if you want to control your emotions when things get heated, then being able to empathize with others is extremely important. And this requires you to imagine yourself in their shoes and see the situation from their perspective. As hard as it may be at times, you need to keep in mind that everyone has problems and issues. They might be having a bad day or some kind of challenge in their personal life. Look, you may not always agree with someone's behavior or opinions, but having empathy for them will allow you to respond more appropriately. Number 8, take a time out.
Like little children,
if you've tried everything and are still struggling to keep your emotions in check, take a time out.
A lot of people act
It's an effective strategy for preventing overreacting.
Say half the time a lot of people do act like children, so that is literally a fact, guys. We need to take a time out. Okay?
They're stuck in the emotions of like a 2-year-old. Some people really do just get stuck there and like never advance, like you said,
because they've never tried to like self-reflect. Like even in the beginning, they said, you gotta know what your triggers are and what you don't like to hear, and what's gonna like cause some feelings to build up in your system. If you don't know what that is, then of course you're not going to know how to handle anxiety ridden situation, anger, anything. Like you're just going to blow up and explode. Like you got to take that moment, not only moment for that other person and having empathy for them, but knowing yourself. Literally, like if you don't know yourself, it's going to be very hard to apply these things into your life. You should just try to get to know yourself.
Yes, and it's important to have people in your life who you trust to like inform you of like if your behavior is bizarre. I notice when people get really isolated and like just spend a lot of time online, they get really warped by it because no one's telling them like, hey, this is not okay how you're acting, or like, and they're not even seeing the impacts of it,
Yeah, and that's also just like another like little thing. Other people need to like say stuff, I feel like, to certain things they see. Some things like I said, like it depends on the person and if, how old they are, like all these little things. Like some people should just know they need to figure it out themselves. But if, like you said, like with the example of someone staying online and nobody is kind of like saying anything, they're not necessarily enabling the actions of this person, or not necessarily even influencing them, but they're just sitting there and sitting by and letting it happen, and not like being like, oh, just a little heads up, like I maybe see something from my point of view outside looking in. And if like whenever someone says like that to me, like they see something like from the outside looking, or from the inside looking out, or whatever, however the phrase is, I take it very like deep, just because like if that person can see that from standing outside of the situation and they're not even in the situation, then there must be something like be seen. Like someone must be wrong. Someone must, you know, have like this issue that the other person is bringing up. So we need to like be able to just take that second and be like, okay, like we need to know ourselves. What triggers me? Did this person trigger me by what they said? If so, like, let me respect them as a regular human being that deserves just human decency, like, and try to get to understand. And even like, I feel like, because a lot of these videos, they kind of don't tell you, well, what if you do have an argument with someone and there is no resolution? You know, what are you supposed to do? Like, that is a very good question. I feel like if there is no resolution at the end of an issue, the least you can do with that situation is just to give that person respect and just be like, hey, I don't agree with you. I don't think that we'll ever see eye to eye. Exactly. I don't think we'll ever see eye to eye, but I don't want to, you know, be around you, or you don't have to be in my presence. You don't have to be in my circle, in my area, but I still respect you as a human being. We just, we agree to disagree. Like, it's just simple as that. Like, there doesn't have to be that, like regret or that resentment that you're holding on to for years and years and years. Like, you just let a person know, like, this is just what it is. And it's easier down the road for you and that person. Like,
yep. Always just keep it 100.
Facts.
And resolving conflict. It gives you the opportunity to calm down, to think about what you want to say or how you want to say it, and return with a clearer head. This is particularly helpful if the other person makes you feel hurt or defensive. Taking a few minutes alone can help diffuse some of the tension before returning and engaging in constructive dialogue. Remember, when you don't react, you leave space to respond. You can always choose your attitude and the way you process information, even if someone else is trying to provoke a reaction from you. You control your emotions and how they affect your actions. This means that if someone tries to get under your skin, it's ultimately up to you whether or not that incident will spark an emotional reaction in you. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making them.
Yeah, I definitely, being online and getting so much feedback, like some of it has been like very helpful. Noticing like annoying speech patterns or things I just like loop on, or me interrupting or like going on too long. I feel like it's helped me become like better at socializing from the feedback, but it can also create insecurity. But
yeah, and that's all, like what he said with the last thing. It all just depends on how you look at something and what you let affects you. And that's why, like, I think that is like a part of why like my composure is so good, is because like I realize that I can only control what is within me and like what I have going on in my emotions and my actions. So as long as I'm acting right, regardless if it's a disagreement, anything, like as long as I'm acting right, then at the end of the day, like it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yep.
But
exactly. It's like sometimes people call me a hypocrite because I still get upset every once in a while or like lash out online. And that's like can be a fair assessment. It makes me want to be more cognizant not to do that, you know? And I'm trying to accept it with grace and not be so defensive, because defensiveness is also, it's just never cute. You shouldn't have to tell people you're a good person or do that. You just gotta, you know, demonstrate, don't explicate. Jimmy says he has a question. Did you want me to drop the link, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, sorry, that was my grandma calling me. I had to just answer.
All right, you're fine. All
but
right,
no,
guys, I'm gonna drop the link. Everyone be respectful. We're not going to bring up anyone who's not going to prove that they're a person and not someone just trying to fuck with us. Obviously, on high alert. So don't take it personally if you accidentally get filtered out. It's just being extra cautious, just because there have been certain channels that are targeting us.
Absolutely. And I think since we're 2 hours, 2 minutes in, like we can do open panel for the next like 30 minutes ish.
Yeah, we'll do like let me just drop the
Bean said hi, Lowe's grandma. No, people, she actually has gotten on John Galt's before, guys, so I can get her to get on my channel.
Are you serious? Oh my god.
We'll ask questions, because she's actually had like, you know, a pretty like crazy life. Like she obviously fucking like the grandma that she is now, like I don't know what type of grandmas people have, but she isn't that like I guess like stereotypical grandma that like makes cookies and like makes you hella food and is like super nice. Like me and my grandma obviously like cuss with each other. Like I've smoked weed with her before.
Oh,
you know?
really? I love
He's done like drugs. Obviously, she like used to do meth back in the day. She will tell you guys about those stories and all different types of stuff. Like she's crazy. But that's my grandma.
Welcome, Jimmy, a VIP lol angel. How are you feeling, dude?
Excuse me. Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, sounding good. I love the
right.
background. I always like that. The visual.
Oh well, yeah. I got to get it cleaned up one of these days.
No, I mean,
no, I love it. Like it's really, like it's just a nice, like scenic. Oh, like you're just at home and it's very homey. Like I just love it.
Hi, Spicoli.
So,
wait, I was about to say, Spicoli down really quick just so we can get Jimmy words in.
He's gonna get backstage PTSD like the guys last night. No,
oh yeah.
Paulie actually never complains about being backstage. He's actually very understanding.
He is. Yeah. But go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah. He's awesome. So here's what I've ran into today is like anger is a good thing, but what do you do when you get angry, but the person who's making you angry is actually right with everything they're saying?
Dude, that's
you get what I'm.
That's why I brought up that last circumstance, because in all those videos, I didn't like bring up the fact that like, okay, what if that person that you're arguing with is right and you are the one wrong, or you guys just can't come to an agreement? That's just kind of where you gotta take just like that bigger step and be like, okay, we agree to disagree, or like we're just never gonna see eye to eye, and let's just keep it at that. Like we don't have to disrespect each other or have like this angry banter battle like between each other and then end off at a note where we're like feeling more insecure about each other or ourselves and then walk away from it. Like that's pointless, you know.
But the anger I'm talking about is like it's in me because the person who said it was right. And so like now I'm like I'm pissed. It's like I'm an idiot. How could you do this stuff? You know, now the anger's on me, and I'm like, oh, they're so
and
right,
you're angry with yourself. And so that was something I actually hadn't got to, or what, like something that we really didn't even think of. But anger that you have like at yourself, I think that's not something that is completely different than what we're talking about, but it's definitely different. You can still apply some of the same techniques that are used for people on the other side. Like obviously just meditating, taking a breather, you know, telling yourself like, hey, like, you know, not be so hard on yourself. I'm worth it. Like we were saying earlier,
hey, what's up?
Nice things like that. But in those type of situations, I can admit that it's very much harder to stop being angry at yourself than being angry at another person. I can admit that. And I haven't completely locked that one down pat yet. So I don't know. Like, what do you think?
So when you find that answer, you let me know. Hi, Stevie, by the way.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Cat, Stevie, the cat.
Oh, that was like
your cat?
No. We were on like some farm, and like I was working in this cat, like these barn cats.
Oh, Lionel. He said
so,
that's
yeah, like,
I love it with faith. The show is
like
touch. Aww.
Yeah, basically a kitten came up and just started like nuzzling up against my tool pouch.
Oh, it's just like a random like kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even cuter. But
I miss living with the cats. When my brother moved out, those were his cats. But I'm more of a dog person. I want to get a dog like in the next year for sure. Lionel, that is such a sweet comment though.
Can I show you why I couldn't come back on your panel last night? I had to go to the doctor. I have adult measles.
Wait, are you fucking let me solo.
Wait.
Yeah, seriously. I'm breaking out with adult.
Tell me, okay, you guys already know me.
Also, we need the tattoo. We need to see the tats.
What gives you measles? Like, I don't know.
I have no idea. All I know is I broke.
I mean, I guess it's like some, you could just catch it. I don't know. Yo, that's everyone's been sick.
Obviously with like high blood pressure, like that's like from, fucking, I don't know, all different types of shit. Like it gets caused by like, you having stress on your life, or I'm asking that, like, is there something that like I don't know. This measles. I don't know. I don't even think I've ever met anybody that had measles. So Jimmy, you're the first person.
Yeah,
Alex
but see, when
said
I was
the
little,
white people disease. I don't know.
I never got vaccinated and stuff when I was little.
Dude.
That's so cute. I love little tiny things.
I know they itch like hell. Oh, I'm sorry. I said hell. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, you can say hell.
I was gonna say, and what I've been realizing also, like the way that we use the word hell, like oh, that's cool as hell, like guys, and I rebuke that because it's not cool as hell. Hell is not cool. Okay, so we don't need to be saying
No, it's not.
that, but just using the word hell, I don't think there's wrong with it. But hold on, my grandma's calling.
I never even thought of that. That's true.
Hi, Lowe's grandma.
Hi, Lowe's girl.
But you know what, Ruby? I've been doing this study on words. Hi, Lowe's grandma.
Hey, what's up? We love Lo. Thank you for being part of making her exist.
Yes.
They said they love you and thank you for basically making me.
Great work. Big fan.
You did a great job.
I mean, making a person is kind of like art. You have to mold them into the world and, see how it interacts with them. But anyway, what's new with you guys?
Miss Ruby, I've been doing this study on words.
On words?
Yeah, like everyday words we use, like daggone.
Actually, like the origins. That's
the origin of that word was from a god Dagon back in the old days, and it got turned into Dagon.
What is that called?
So I've been trying to. I've been doing that kind of thing.
I can get lost doing like Wikipedia's like looking at that and then looking at the Latin thing and what did that mean and then what did that mean, and it like extends forever.
Yeah,
I just love the information, the internet, because it's endless information. It's a beautiful thing. And now with the AI shit, I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? Stevie, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on like Grok and like the things that are, kind of being more incorporated?
I don't really care for Grok. I don't have an opinion, but
Grok cares for me. Did you see my its little thing? I think you saw that, right?
Good for Grem or whatever their pronouns are.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm lost.
Grok, it's like an AI on X that like compiles all information on the internet, and it had a very flattering summary of me and my stuff. It even has details of me and Grace's fights and Ben, and like you can ask it stuff and it lists it out. But it was very favorable to me, so I
depends on what AI you're talking about. If you're talking about AI art, AI music,
I guess in general
we should have like it's totally
taking over. It's becoming very common, and it's fun, but it's also terrifying.
Since this is a semi-religious show, Ruby, what do you think about AI taking everything over? Like they're going to put our nuclear
technology is maybe a tool of Satan, and sometimes I think the Mormons have it right, because how everyone's walking around with a phone that has an apple bitten out of it. We had the forbidden knowledge, and that constant distraction. We're looking at the phone, not looking at God.
I was telling her that you guys were saying like hello and whatever, and she was like, I was like, oh yeah, they want to like hear from you on the panel. She was like, oh, they don't want to hear about me, and I was like, yes, they do. Like you have like great thoughts. And she was like, and I was like you could actually like give them some insight on just life being like, I think she's like 67 or 68, something like that. And she just has had like a whole life to live for sure. And she said, I was like, you're gonna come up on panel one day. She's like, okay, I will.
I'm thankful for this. I got this today.
Or what? What's going on?
Oh my gosh, I'm furious. How did you even get up here?
I added him. I was cautiously adding him. He instantly made it weird.
Oh, no.
So he's like, why would you ask? Is her grandma?
I'm sure he's gonna.
Are you 6? Are you an 11-year-old boy who just discovered sex?
That's what I'm saying. So bring him up. Bring him up for like 2 seconds. I'm sure he's gonna ruin it for himself. Just bring him up and let's hear what he has to say.
All right.
I didn't ruin anything.
Why are you asking if my 67-year-old grandma is hot?
But it's just a question.
I mean, are you into grandmas?
Well, it's a question.
I can give her, your ass.
I mean, if she looks like Elizabeth Hurley or something, maybe. I don't know. I'm just asking questions, though.
Well, would you like to talk about like the positivity of today's show, or anger or conflict, how you deal with it?
Oh, I love conflict.
Okay.
Oh, I revel in conflict. I love it.
See, what's up with that? That feels evil.
Would you say that you try to like avoid it by any means, or you don't think?
No, I never avoid it. I want it.
So
I think conflict is good because it helps define like where you are. Like it helps define your limitations. It helps define what the reality of the world around you is. You know
When
what I
done
mean?
correctly, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
agree
I
with
think.
that.
I think. Go ahead.
So have you basically your whole life like dealt with conflict like that, or has this been like a recent turn?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think since little like boys, like I mean, we dealt with conflict in different ways. I used to beat me and my brothers used to fight. My friend, I mean, we were from little
Yeah.
kids. We messed around. I mean, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I mean, I remember like me and my friends used to play like WWF in the backyard, and sometimes like we hit each other too hard with like a little metal pan or some like
Yeah.
something like or some stick or something, and someone get pissed
Oh,
and
yeah.
like
I
smack the
had
other
two
person.
brothers, and we would fight like crazy.
Yeah, you smack
sometimes.
the other
We'd
person
take
in the
the like
face.
remote controllers from the like N64. We'd be like swinging them around to get like crazy.
We
Oh
had
yeah, you
these.
throw. Oh,
Okay,
dude, after gold, like when you had to hand the controllers over in
The
GoldenEye, dude, you throw
controllers,
the,
I
you
went
throw the
wild
Yeah.
with
controllers at
N64.
people, dude. Yeah, you'd throw the
no.
controllers at people, dude.
Okay, well,
Hold
I
on.
have a question for you, Imperious. So if that has been like kind of the way that you've processed just conflict in your life is by not avoiding it, with you being, in your 30s and, an adult, you've obviously lived your life. Would you say that there has been any point where you've kind of like looked at the way you've handled conflict and it might have like caused a problem for you, or might have causing like resentment with the person that you didn't necessarily feel like that, like it should have ended up that way, or you felt like it could have ended in a better way?
Yeah, I think when you're younger, you always make like impulsive decisions and get like irritated like quickly or impulsively when you're young. But I mean, I'm not sitting back going like, oh my god, I made one
You do.
specific that really,
You do when you're old too. You do when you're old too, Imperious.
Yeah,
You
I mean, I've
often-
tried, but I think what I mean is, I think as you get older, you don't get like so impulsively, like angry, like super pissed off so quickly.
Yeah,
I don't.
you
I mean,
do.
at least compared to what I used to. At least compared to what I used to, I don't. You know what I mean? But I mean,
Okay.
like in the back, dude. When I was young, I would want people. I would give people like I'd want an excuse to kick the shit out of somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like
guess
it would
that's
just
the
be.
thing, drink,
So,
fight, and fuck.
okay, just
No,
by
keep
you
yelling.
saying that though, like, do you ever like reflect on your own mind and like maybe think
Well, yeah.
back?
I mean, you're young. You want to. No, it's like you're
No,
a
I'm
young buck.
talking about at the age that you are right now. Like, do you ever sit back and kind of
What's up,
maybe like
Brian?
think and like try to see from another person's point of view if they've ever said anything from you and be like, okay, maybe the way that I am acting can be aggressive or wrong or rude?
No,
Have you
I
ever-
don't give a shit. I was in my 20s. I don't care.
I know, I'm saying like right now today, like has there been any point in like where you are today over the last
Well, I
couple
mean,
of years?
sometimes I think, yeah. I mean, but the thing is like you can control. I don't care about how someone else feels about something. I can't control how somebody else feels.
Women are fucking competitive too. We just are doing it in a more like
It's an
subversive,
indirect
like,
way.
that
Yeah,
we probably
It's-
don't even.
yeah.
comprehend.
It's just indirect. Men, like that's what I'm
But
saying. Like
it's
men,
everyone's
like
different. I'm
We're
not
not getting on this men and women dynamic, Imperious. Please don't make me
low,
start.
calm down. You need
No,
to take a
I can
Xanax
already see.
lately. What's
Listen, I
going
can
on
already
here?
see it coming. I can already
What
see it
do you
coming.
see coming? Boobies?
We are not doing this man and woman dynamic. I'm asking
What?
you.
I was going to talk about boobs.
I'm asking you about anger, how you control it, the conflict.
Lo,
in
do you
your
notice? I've noticed that when women get mad, their chest gets red. Do you notice that, like right above their boobs? There, like.
Take them off.
It sounds like that
No,
makes
I would
you
say, why? What is wrong? No, I didn't say anything wrong. This is racism.
Oh, I'm
This is
sorry. I
racism.
forgot that. I forgot I was running the panel for a second. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Anyway.
Brown.
Hello, Brown Man.
Hello.
Hi, Brown Man. Would you like to actually give some insight on our topic today, or what's up?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say I really love the quotes that you guys both read, the verses that you both read about wisdom and anger. A man who's wise does not, just like say things unfiltered. He say things with tact. And exactly that one, right?
A
He
fool
says things
uttereth
with tact.
all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards.
Yeah,
And
I need to
so-
work on that a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a very good point for both men and women. You know what I mean? So that's all I'll say about that.
So can you tell us like maybe a time that you might have had like a conflict or a moment that you were very angry, that you applied some of the things that we've talked about that helped you, or maybe a time that you didn't use those things that you probably should have, or just how do you deal with like your anger and conflict? You can either use
I remember one day I was like 16, just started driving, and my mom was the Spanish teacher in my high school, right? So me and her would drive home every day from school, right? And so like my mom like knows how to push my buttons, right? She was already like ticking me off. She has really bad OCD, already ticking me off. Anyway, so like on the driveway home, she was trying to like, backseat drive, saying, "Oh, you're going too fast," whatever.
Right.
Really getting ticked off. I was like actually getting it because like passenger seat driving fucking pisses me off. Like actually.
Okay.
So by the time I get home, right, I open the door, and I open the front door with a little bit of force, just slightly. I'm saying, "Here you go, Mom." Like the door's open, and I swing the door so much so that I actually bust a dent into the wall. And so my mother sees this, and she's like, "Look what happens. This is what happens."
Oh no, that's such a good example. It's like you just hurt yourself.
That's a perfect example in the moment.
And so for the red, like literally that same dent had like stayed there for like 2 years to remind me that I cannot express my anger because I don't know what things may affect. When you're angry, you don't know what things will affect. Other things will affect you.
Yeah.
You will
have
affect
ripple
other things
impact.
indirectly.
You don't want it. Yeah.
And that's exactly what I had to learn in 2024. So
Wow,
that's a great story.
Or your mom, or you let it sit there for 2 years. So would you say that definitely has like impacted on how you like handle conflict nowadays in your anger?
Oh, I never raised my voice like to my parents like ever since that moment. You know what I'm saying? Everything.
So it has impacted how you deal with your anger and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Lo, when you have a relationship with God, like things really just come easy. Like you really can't let things affect you like that. You realize that the devil really tries to throw you off from your game. And it's just like at the end of the day, if you are in lockstep with Jesus Christ, it really just like doesn't matter. Like it really just doesn't affect.
That's why I personally do feel like sometimes like maybe what I say doesn't seem like the truth because it might seem like it comes easier to me, but it's really because it's Jesus Christ. And I always like to give him his credit. Like it's not me, guys. I don't have the composure that you guys like love so much because of my own merits. Like it's God. Like he has instilled that in me. He has instilled his patience and like his strength in me. And I got to work with what I got. So yeah, I absolutely agree with you. When you got Jesus, listen, nothing is off the table. Nothing is impossible. And you can be whatever type of person you want to be. But okay, so
Amen to that.
So with that example and everything, has there been a moment since that time when that happened 2 years ago that you felt like there was like a time in a conflict or when you were really angry that you finally used what you used to apply that to your life, like the techniques to get over your anger, and like you were satisfied with what you did? Can you give us an example of that? Like where you really sat to yourself and was like, damn, I did really good. And like, I surprised myself because I didn't let my anger come out.
I don't really know if I remember a time that like I specifically can say, hey, like I know that I was like good at this point in time. Like honestly, I really try to keep a steady. I'm kind of similar to you, Lo. I kind of keep a steady personality at all points of the day. And so like I honestly see a lot of myself in you. So like at the end of the day, I can't really like point to a time specifically where it's like, oh, like I acted like so chill at this moment. It's like, nah, I'm always chill, nigga.
Yeah. So you kind of don't get out of character. Yeah. I was going to say, I absolutely feel that. Like,
unless I'm playing like 2K online, then I'm actually cussing people out.
I'm trying to think of like, a time, even just like, okay, like I can say, I kind of bring this all up sometimes. Like if I'm in a, say like a grocery store line or a food place line, or even like at the restaurant, you're waiting on your host, you're waiting on someone, there's a huge line, there's people packed in there, you're feeling very angry, your body's getting heated up because you're just trying to hurry up and get home. You worked all day, you already got to stop somewhere else and get gas and get food from this place or whatever. And it's like, I think that those were my moments that it finally hit me when I was like standing in them, that I was like, okay, like God is literally giving me tests that I can like become persistent and get this like type of composure that I want to have. You know what I mean? So I can say like those were probably like the turning points for me, just as simple as like those situations were turning points for me to like made myself realize like, okay, I am getting better with my patience. I am getting better with my composure. So like, those are just some examples for me. But Jimmy, if you would like to answer that question, where, because I know you've had like and even more life experience than we've had. You probably have more examples.
No, the only last incident I got in was I got cut off in traffic, and I followed the guy home. And when I got out of the car and he got out of the car, he was scared to death, and I felt so bad that I took the dude out to lunch. And we go fishing from time to time. Yeah. That's the last incident I really got mad.
Yeah, but that is such a change of behavior.
Business.
That if you can do that, oh yeah, you've definitely made that milestone, and you should be very, very proud of yourself. That because not a lot of people say they would do that.
Because I've been there, that petty like one to follow, like see what like get back at someone, and it's a pathetic way to feel. It's like feeling like petty. It's always so much better to just say like get over it, put your ego aside. And show them kindness. It disarms them and often connects you in a beautiful way. So it's like,
and come to find out it was a medical condition. And like I said, we go fishing every summer now. He's probably one of my, well, I wouldn't say friends, acquaintances that I have. But we go to fishing every summer.
No, I can't. Listen, I can actually. You just made me or reminded me of a time that I think it was like last year. I don't even know when it was, but it was within like the last year, 2 years, whatever. I was taking my mom's dog to the vet to go get some shots or whatever. And I'm not even gonna like explain like give all the little details, but basically like on our way out, me and the dog, like I'm driving really slow, I'm driving in the parking lot, like not even 5 miles an hour. I see this lady or this person start backing up, and like I go to beat my horn, but guys, like I have a very old car, so my horn isn't like where a regular horn would be. It has like buttons for my horns, right? So like my immediate reaction of like going to beat my horn wasn't like my reactive time wasn't there, but my emotions wasn't there because I forgot I had a button for a horn. So this lady ended up backing into me, but it wasn't a like, a horrible crash or anything. But I immediately got out and like I was ready, like I don't care, like I was ready to just be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like you heard me, or like you should at least like seen me, whatever. And like a woman stepped out of the car and she was crying. She immediately literally was crying. And like she said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This is my first ever crash. Like I didn't see you. And like before, and that was literally before I had said one word. She like before I didn't say anything. She said those words. I seen her tears fall from her cheeks. I immediately said, it's okay. You don't have to pay anything, because she obviously hit me. There really wasn't even any marks. There was like maybe a little damage, but in reality, my car's old as fuck. I don't give two shits. And I have empathy for you. So I was like, oh, like you're so good. You don't even have to pay me. Mind you, this girl was driving like 2023 Porsche. Okay. Like she had a nice ass car. Right. So I'm like, oh, like I'm sure you're having it even worse than you probably already want to have. So I'm just going to let this go. But we ended up exchanging numbers, and like she ended up taking me out to lunch just to like be like, oh, thank you for not like, calling the police or calling your insurance or anything. And like, it just made me feel good. And like, I knew in that moment also like my composure, like as soon as I seen her, her tears, like I was like, damn, like I can't yell at this lady. Like,
yeah, seriously. That's so cool. I mean, that's like the best case scenario, making up and connecting with someone, or at least just moving on to making up.
I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what it is, but like, when people come at you and they're angry and mad, I kind of don't get agitated with them as much anymore. 9 out of 10 times I talk them out of it. You never know what someone's going through themselves,
Exactly. Life is fucking hard. There are hard days where people have no patience left, and it's nothing personal. You just happen to be the person they're lashing out at, everyone does it. Everyone makes mistakes like that. So it's like, it's always better to give grace, for lack of a better term.
It is.
And it makes you just yourself feel better afterwards, because you're like, damn, I really handled that situation really well. Like,
yeah.
Well, I'm trying to buy my way into heaven here. I gotta do everything I can.
I feel that. We can't buy it. We gotta earn it, guys. We gotta earn
well,
it.
You know what I mean. I'm just trying to be funny.
I understand what you're saying. But what about you, Stevie? For the
I don't want to get too personal.
You said what?
That's right. Yeah, you don't have to get too personal.
Oh, you don't have to get too personal, but would you say, like, one question that I can ask you that isn't too personal, would you say with any like conflict or anger in your life, like would you say any of those techniques that we had brought up through the videos, do you use any of those to help you? Do you have anger issues? Like, like if that's too personal, you don't have to answer that, but like,
I just came. Sorry, I just came up here to show you guys like.
Oh,
people
you
that-
don't. I mean, you don't have to
No,
praise
you're
me, but
good, you're
Stevie's
good.
always very level-headed. I've never seen you like
You're
lash out, so I don't think he has like major anger issues.
No, yeah, you're good.
Stevie's
I don't see
a
this up
trained
here.
assassin.
What'd you say, Jimmy?
Stevie's a trained assassin. He can't show his face ever. He's a
Oh
trained
yeah, no.
assassin.
He's like,
I can show it sometimes.
no, you're good. We appreciate you just being up here and supporting. I just thought, I would.
No, I just came up here.
I do appreciate the visuals. I love when people serve visuals. It's like, why not? If you're not gonna have a cam, you may as well like do. So I love that you do that. It's very cute.
Well, hold on. I came up here because you guys said you like it when people like. I did some night photography. It's in
I
the
love
celebrities
that. I love that
only
you
of the
transitioned.
Discord. That's why I came up here originally, but
Oh no,
it's only a few. I have a bunch of them, but I only posted a few of them. It's in the Discord.
I do miss having a pet. I'm just like not responsible enough, and I might move in a few months. I have no idea what's going on with that. What do you think, Stevie? What do you think about like Paro? Do you think we should ban him?
No.
I mean, he's entertaining. I just,
Okay, so did you? What about on my personal channel? What do you think about that, Stevie? Because I don't know if you've seen what had happened last night, which we're not even going to bring it in.
Last night I kind of I checked it for a tiny bit, but I had to get up early for work, so I missed a lot.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bring it back up because I don't really care. I'm not holding. Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm not holding it against Hurricane, but I'm not because I have already forgiven him. But at the same time, obviously, like the situation had to do with other people on my channel that I have major respect for, and I just don't want it to be like, I don't care about maybe their feelings over another. I don't want to be like, I don't want to pick sides, but I also don't want to not pick sides because you know what I mean. Like it's like.
It's a hard position.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it took a while to even get Hurricane back into the chat.
I know. Well, Hurricane, we appreciate you being here, and we want you to have positive energy. I don't like some of the things you said yesterday. I found them to be very bad, and I wish you didn't say stuff like that. But we're praying for you to get, and pray for me.
I mean, like
I have issues too.
I do think that me, Universal, and him will be having a Law and Order, so we more than most likely will be able to get to the bottom of this. This is like that's why we talked about resolution, fucking conflict in your life, Hurricane. So hopefully you've been listening. So for when that time does come on Law and Order, and you and Universal, had to have that conversation, and you guys had to get some feelings out. Both of you can kind of try to understand where both of you guys are coming from, and we can get to the bottom of it. Like that can be like where, I had a senior comment earlier where you're like, oh, look, Lo looks at me differently. I'm not going to lie. I might look at you in a little bit of, I'm not going to say a lesser light. You're still a human being. I still love you. I still have respect for you. But at the same time, like how you treat other people, I do look at you in maybe a different light with that and the respect that you have for others. But everybody, makes mistakes. So like I keep saying, like I want to give people a second chance. So I want to have this Law and Order, but I do respect Universal very, very, very much. And
are you going to do a Law and Order for Paro and Universal?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. So, and Universal said, if you bring him back, I do not see you picking sides.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I put him backstage now. Oh my god, I don't know what to do. Should I have him up? Paro,
but bring just us three up. That's the problem.
Oh my god.
Sorry, guys. Hold on a second.
I'm here for Venta Black.
I don't have any feelings about the situation. That is him. Please don't butt me into the same emotional state. No, I wasn't saying. I'm just saying if you did, because obviously I don't know what's in either of your guys' minds. I don't know how you guys feel about the situation. Only what I've been hearing. So I'm just taking like that. You guys, I'm sure, do have things to say to one another, even if it's not an opinion that you necessarily care about. But it is my show and it is my channel, so it ultimately is my opinion. But at the same time, I very much care and respect Universal and his opinion, so I will be bringing that into consideration a lot. But Hurricane, you have the floor. Salute to you. Thank you for coming up on panel.
Yeah, hi.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man.
And do you think, before you start, do you think that you could like call back, your dogs on me or something?
Wait, what do you mean by that?
No, never mind. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say he did a great job not interrupting just now when you were talking at first. I just want to
Mhm.
say you did a
Exactly.
really good job of just listening. So I see some progress already.
Exactly. I'm just proving Lo wrong. You know, that's all that I wanted, you know,
Hey,
for
if it
Lo to
makes you
see
act
me.
better, sometimes proving people wrong, like when people said, like, "Oh, she's not gonna get skinny, she's not gonna get a job, she's not gonna do this." Like, I'm like,
I
well,
never
now
s-
I'm actually gonna do it. You know?
I never said that.
No, she's not saying that. She's just using that as an example.
Yeah, I'm just talking about myself.
No. Well, I'm
So,
here.
I mean,
Huh?
that's what I was going to say. If you want to get anything that you want to say out, obviously, Universal, I'm sure, like you said, it's my decision whether we have the Law and Order or not. I would like to just hear a few things from you to determine whether I want to have this Law and Order or not. And yeah, just hear your kind of side of yesterday.
That wasn't me yesterday. Because, like I said, I don't know where the hell I was. Like, my mind was just, like, it was outside of me. Like, I was controlled because I forgot. Because y'all, I mean, Lo, you had me backstage, like for how many minutes? Like, and then just to hear Spicoli, I forgot, like, to say, like, oh, fuck. How to I forget to say what I was about to say, and that's why I
Oh,
flip
it
out the
happens
way I
all the
did.
So you felt like something was like basically taking something like control of you. That wasn't you, is what you're saying.
That's right, because I wanted to cook the shit out of Vanta Black and Imperious, but I forgot what I was about to say, so I snapped.
And
And
you were just so caught up in the anger though that no matter who was in front of you, you kind of just like snapped on them. And unfortunately for Universal, it was him.
I know, and me and UJ talk about it behind the scenes, and it is all good. And hopefully, yeah, hopefully we get to the same track too, Lo, because I tried to contact you, but you were always busy, you know?
No, I am. I not only I slept 12 hours today, guys. If you haven't noticed, I haven't even been on Discord. But Universal did say, Pero, you just need to learn how to be on panel, be respectful, and learn how to be in a dialogue without talking about dicks, grape, and shit like that. That's not on topic. And I definitely agree with that. And obviously grape 100%. The dicks, it's like it can be funny every now and again when you're joking around with someone. Hey Moxie, how are you? But
What
in
up,
general,
Moxie?
just kind of like bring it up out of nowhere. It can like just give like an uncomfortable feeling on panel. But really for me, my big main factor of yesterday was like when I was like explaining to people like, hey guys, like I'm talking, you know, please keep your mouth shut, please shut up, with whatever the way that I said it. You were the one to like literally come in right after like I said that when I wasn't even done talking and be like, yep, you guys need to be listening to Low. So you were like proving my example of like, okay, you're not listening to what I'm saying and you're still over talking me, even though I keep on asking you not to over talk me. So it was just the respect thing for me. And it's like, even though you don't come up there trying to like run the panel, you just literally like, it seems like it's impossible for you to not interrupt. Like, that's what it just seems.
But right
I
now,
have-
you're doing amazing. What you
Yeah,
just
no,
did now.
right now you're literally like,
That
what
was
you're doing right
perfect.
now is what you need
Wow.
to be doing on every panel.
That
like,
was amazing. You just nailed it perfectly. It's just like, and I struggle too. I forget my thoughts, so I interject. Sometimes it helps. I just like write a thought down, and then just wait my turn.
Oh shit, Stanley's in the chat. Shout out to you, Stanley. Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Stanley!
Oh, happy
What up, Stanley?
Happy birthday,
Paro.
Stanley. I hope your year goes amazing. And this is Paro up on screen. We're trying to resolve some conflict because we don't need the conflict on YouTube, guys.
He knows me. He knows me. I had issues with him before. He's saying that Ruby took my manhood.
That's always a room.
Yep. But everything is cool now. You know, I still forgive him.
So
yeah, it's always better to move on and be forgiving, and but everyone messes up, and it seems like today you're coming with a great attitude, and the listening. Yesterday, Lo couldn't even explain.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, what? So,
To tell you the truth,
yesterday or just even today, did you take those moments of kind of just like reflecting on your actions and what has been said over the last day, and that's why you're so calm, or what has brought this out of you today that you can't bring this to any other panel?
To tell you the truth, I've been traumatized. from last night.
Oh,
Okay.
no. I'm sorry to hear that.
I am
I
sorry
haven't
to hear
slept.
that too. Those are never my intentions to ever like make
Yeah.
someone feel traumatized. So
We
I
never
haven't-
want anyone to feel
Oh,
bad
yeah,
or
yeah.
humiliated or traumatized. We just want to be, honest, communicative.
but no, please can like continue because I would like to know like obviously what exactly made you feel traumatized, what like there's the whole process of it because I don't like want to make you feel like that. And obviously, you know me, Pero, like I care about you as a person, I care about you as a human being. So I don't want you to feel any type of way. But at the same time, like
The damage is already done. Anyways.
okay, and I know I do understand that. But what about on just the opposite side? Even though Universal, doesn't maybe necessarily feel a type of way, or he wouldn't consider it like traumatized or even having any feelings towards it. Don't you think what was said, even though you said that you were being taken over or that wasn't yourself, don't you think on the other side of that though, like there could be trauma for the other people hearing it or experiencing that?
Well, to tell you the truth, because Imperius keep over talking and talking, and I'm trying to say something, and he keeps going and going and going. He won't shut up. Same with
But you know
Vanta
what he
Black.
wants? He wants you to freak out. He does it on purpose, probably. So the way to outsmart him is to keep calm, and then he looks stupid for freaking out like a baby.
And y'all want to know something? Like Vanta Black is the main reason why I'm here. So I'm calling him out so we could have this debate because I can't let him like go up to other people and claiming me as a pedophile. Nah, like get him up here. Like I need to talk to him.
Imperius,
Bring him up. I don't know if I see them.
Yeah, bring him up.
If Imperius is in the back, bring him up so they can have this long overdue conversation.
No, hold on. This guy, I'm the traumatized one. This gay nigga said my cheeks are gonna be clapped on site.
Take him off. Take him off.
He doesn't know how to fucking call someone not like the N-word or anything. You don't know how to have adult conversation. As you see,
you see what I mean, Lo?
Is being way more
Hurricane is being very respectful. He's coming with a different type of energy today. So Imperius, if you cannot do that, then you cannot resolve the conflict or the issues within you two. I'm sorry, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, come on. Are you a one-note character? Show us some dynamic,
Prove me wrong that I think that you literally have no self-control. Prove me wrong.
We literally think you can't. Like we're questioning whether or not you are actually capable. So maybe you can
Look. If some man is out of crack. No, hold on. I am speaking. Hold on.
All right, one at a time.
If some man told you, Lo, that he was gonna find you, and on site, he was going to clap your cheeks, meaning rape you. Yeah, what would you do, Lo?
Clap. Lo don't care about you, dude.
See, he's saying it right now, Lo. You're telling me to stay calm, god dang it. You're telling me to stay calm, and he's telling me he's gonna gay rape me.
Take both of them off, Ruby. Take both of them off.
What is this? Why am I?
Just for a second. Take both of them off for a second.
Okay. Yeah, maybe this is getting a little spicy for LOL Angels.
I was gonna say, like, guys, we are streaming on my side of the thing. I think that we honestly need to do a Law and Order because this is not the time nor place to do on LOL Angels. I try to give you guys, an adult place and civilized place to have that conversation, to go not only with the topic, but everything that's been ensuing over the last couple of days. But you guys obviously can't not say, like clap, or N-word or whatever the fuck you guys are saying, okay? You guys can't do it. So we're going to move over to the less, PG-13 low show. And we're going to have to do a Law and Order now because this is actually getting ridiculous. We're not going to bring them back up. Let's bring Jimmy Brown, Man, and whoever else was actually here for LOL Angels back up so we can talk to them. And yeah, we can get to that later. I'm sorry, guys. You don't like, and that was my point. You guys are Imperius. You did not prove me wrong. You proved my point. You don't know how to just chill out. But no, I'm not going to say with that moment, you were just explaining how you were feeling when he said that he was going to do that to you yesterday. So I give you that. Don't get me wrong. But instantly coming up, calling him an N-word, like we got to do better. Okay. So we're going to do a Law and Order. That'll be later. Let's pass that. For now, let's get our angels back up here, guys. Let's get our angels back.
The well-behaved ones.
Oh, wait.
I feel honored if you called an angel.
Oh, you guys are the OG LOL Angels, okay?
Hey, Final Chicken says shout out to Thorpe TV. Shout out to them. Shout out to Grace and Ben.
Yeah, good luck, guys. I hope you switch it up, and I pray for you often. Yeah.
But
God
anyway,
is great, and I need to damn him. Ain't that the truth?
other than that, like obviously, guys, we have been what else did we talk about? Oh yeah, no, now that we have our panelists up here, we like to ask every week, you know, me and Ruby said our 5 grateful things. Would you guys like to say 5 things that you guys are grateful for this week?
I am grateful that I might have Friday off or have a short Friday.
And also, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Baby.
I was gonna say you don't have to give 5. I sometimes forget that it might take a minute to think of 5. So just how many ever you want to say.
Yeah, whatever is on your mind. You can just say 1 or 2 things if you want.
That's about it.
All right. Brownman, do you have things to grateful or Jimmy or whoever's ready?
Brownman, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, I got a couple of things. Obviously grateful for God.
Yes,
grateful for family, grateful for friends. I'm grateful for Zerka. He's been a great part of my life. Grateful for the red pill. Also grateful for what was I gonna say? One Piece. Yes, also
nice.
And yeah, I'm just grateful for women. Grateful that God created something that I'm appealing to. You know what I'm saying? I am appealed to. So it's great times. It's great times.
I don't know where that last one was going, but I appreciate you, bro.
There we go. Facts.
All right. What about you, Jimmy?
Well, like Brown Man, first, I'm grateful for God. That's the most important thing in my life right now. Secondly, I'm just glad to be alive, dude. Another day, just another day. And I got a roof over my head and I got food to eat. And I'm just very blessed and very thankful for everything in my life.
Oh, Jimmy, you're about to make me tear up. Like, I'm grateful for your life too, Jimmy. I'm happy that you're here and you support us for real.
Yeah, we need that energy because you see the other energies that we're dealing with like last night, and it's fun, but we need different energies so that we can all regroup and like stay in the right, keep our focus on doing good and not getting caught up in the toxicity, because I definitely get caught up in the toxicity and I'm trying to,
Can I ask a question?
Better. Sure.
And Imperious and Hurricane, I am sorry to put you guys in the back. Obviously, I know that upsets Hurricane, but this is not the channel to do it on. I am reading your guys' back chat. I understand.
Oh God, they're Spergen. Yeah.
You guys will get the time that you so desperately deserve to say what you need to say, but just not on this channel. I'm sorry.
Okay, here's my question. I saw it in chat, and I'm not trying to be funny. What is red pill and blue pill? What does that mean?
Let Brown Man explain this.
It's from the Matrix. It's from the Matrix.
Blue pill is like woke and red is like right wing, more like based.
It's been co-opted into meaning nothing now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering because I see it so much, and I'm like,
red pill's more like men's rights activists, like that kind of MRA space, and like blue pill is like if you get more like SJW or more into
don't take pills.
Exactly.
Just don't take black pills.
The best pill is the God pill.
Take the God pill, the truth pill, the Jesus pill, the hallelujah pill, and that's it.
Well, sometimes you need your daily dose of red and black. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to be in reality. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
True. What is up,
and that's one thing.
Pills take you away from reality, though.
Well,
yeah, sometimes that ain't a bad thing.
Take your meds though, guys. If you got meds out here, take them shits, okay?
For real.
Take your
Okay, I gotta do a shout out. If you'll let me.
Of course.
A friend of mine sent me this.
Here, let me full screen you. What is that? Ooh, fucked up.
That is
what
a vape, that? And it is.
Oh, lit, bro! I just got a new vape today, Joe.
The hemp doctor. Whoa!
Cheers, Jimmy. Cheers.
Do you have you hit it already?
Oh my God! I don't cough, but 2 hits off of this thing, man, literally knocked me in the floor.
So is it supposed to be like more?
So much better than alcohol.
It's supposed to be more natural than just regular vapes.
Yeah, it's I think they said 30-some% THC in it.
Whoa, that's pretty high. Usually it's like in the 20s.
Yeah.
Okay.
My God, it knocked me in the floor. I can't hit it, man. Tears will start coming out of my eyes. It's so strong.
He's a
I have too much of a tolerance to get that high. I couldn't.
Oh man, wow. I don't even know, guys, but we are 2 hours and 48 minutes in. So, Ruby, would you like to end this pretty soon?
Yeah, I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm a little tired. If you guys have any
I-
closing thoughts, then we'll do like our devotional.
I was gonna say, if you just want to see my night photography real quick.
Yeah, go
it's
ahead.
in the
Yeah,
Discord.
Yeah.
It's in the celebrities only.
All right.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Rubies. Oh,
Celebrities.
Rubies.
I was
Oh,
gonna say Ruby's gonna have to get it.
Yeah.
So while we're pulling that up, Jimmy or Brown Man, do you want to start with any last final words?
Oh,
Jimmy, you can
pretty.
go
All right,
ahead.
let me share the screen here.
Where you want me to go?
No, just that
Where does it connect?
you ladies have an amazing thing. And Ruby, I got to say this. I don't know if anybody said it to you, but what happened to you, you handled it rather well, dear. And I'm very proud of you. I am very proud of you. I really
Thank you.
am.
I made some mistakes, but I feel like I'm just trying to stay in my peaceful space and not in a vengeance and just truce. Like, let's all just tone it down and de-escalate is kind of where I'm at, you know. I actually did sing happy birthday to him earlier, but we can all sing happy birthday.
I was gonna say, shout out to you, OBZ Don, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you so much, guys. Like the video on both sides, LOL Angels and Riding High with Low. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Can we sing happy birthday to Mr. Stanley Cross? And I think that we can.
All right.
But everyone, you have to be included. So if you're not, then you better say your final words now.
Yeah. Instant ban if you don't sing. All right. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Happy
birthday.
Birthday.
Birthday to you. Birthday to Stanley. Happy
Stanley.
birthday to you.
See, Stevie, Brown Man. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're gonna say instant ban, but no. Happy birthday, Stanley. I do really wish you the best year this year, and yeah, it's just flourishing with your channel,
man.
everything. Fucking up the singing.
No,
Yeah, we're horrible singers over here, guys. We're just doing it because it was asked to be done.
That's gonna have to be a clip. That was hilarious. All right. Well, thank you guys all for coming on. I'm gonna take it down the panelists. Thank
Brown
you.
Man, Jimmy, Stevie, I appreciate you all so much. I love you
thank
guys.
you.
I love you
Sorry.
guys. What? I love you guys.
Yes, thank you. I love that we do get a lot of positive energy too. And that does help balance it out because it's not a good place to be with all the cortisol and like just anger and festering. There's always drama.
And
but there's
always demons running rampant. There's always, guys. The devil does not sleep. Okay, so we gotta stay on our tiptoes and have our lamps filled. Okay, if you feel.
And he's very present on the internet. Very present on.
But I would like to thank everyone, obviously, who came in and joined us today. We love having the positivity for people who love to hear what we have going on. Obviously, like we always say, we're just giving our journeys, our opinions. Take what we say with how much grains of salt you want. We don't know the truth to life. We don't know the way to life. We just try to give our opinions, what we've experienced in our, short lives on earth so far. And we obviously just hope that it can enlighten someone one day. It might work with someone. If it doesn't, if it makes you reflect on yourself, whatever it is, we just always hope the best. And thank you guys so much.
Yeah, exactly. Was it your turn to do the thing or was it mine? I forget.
I think I did it last week. You can do it.
Let's say that.
And Hurricane, you can finish your story on Law and Order. We are not getting into any type of drama on LOL Angels tonight, unfortunately. But if I'm going to call Universal right after I get off of here, we're going to set up a Law and Order and you will be updated. So just be looking out. Okay?
We should get jurors for it too, so they can vote by the peers and stuff.
Oh no,
right.
Because you can be one of the jury people.
I would love to. I'd love to see if I could get a group of people and we can all vote. I don't know. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, no, we'll see. Because guys, we are ending at 10, but it's always a late night with Low. So come on now.
All right. So today it says a new joy is yours. Today, I bring you living understanding, living wisdom, and grace that moves with rhythm of your breath. These gifts come bubbling joy, the mercy kiss of my spirit who guides you. A new joy is yours, joy that comes when you know that every step you take, I have planned before you were born. Before you start to speak, I know every sentence that will come from your mouth. Before you go on journey, I have gone before you to make your steps firm and faithful to my ways. I release to you the joy of being guided by my spirits. Wait upon me, and I will show you the steps to take. When you turn to the right, you'll hear my whisper in your heart saying, yes, this is the way you are to walk. Supernatural guidance will end the pain of the past. Your heart will taste joys set before you in the season of new beginnings. Your life will bring me praise and show me glory. A new joy
this is
is
just
yours
making us
today.
feel good. Like, okay, God, are we gonna
Right, dude. This, as always, these
They always
shout out,
are
Mom, if you're
always,
watching
always
this.
on topic. They're always on
I
topic.
love this
They're always
show.
hitting different. Go ahead. Sorry.
It says, your life will bring me praise and show my glory. A new joy is yours today as you say, yes, Lord, lead me into greater glory. And then it has Psalm 32, 8-9. I will stay close to you, instructing and guiding you along the pathway for your life. I will advise you along the way and lead you forth with my eyes as you guide. So don't make it difficult. Don't be stubborn. When I take you where you've not been before, don't make me tug you and pull you along. Just come with me.
Oh, stop. Because I felt like God was directly speaking to me. Like, come on now.
Bro, same. Very relevant. And it even touched on points of the episode.
Yeah, and every time that we read the daily devotionals, it always hits the topic of what we were talking about or what either one of us was feeling within that week. So just like the biggest praise to God for always just not only giving us our life today, our breath, you know, letting us have this platform and the opportunity to show you guys there are some good people out here. There's some light out here to be spread. We're trying to do it for you guys. You know, Jesus is King.
And we're
Jesus
doing it together. We have a team and we are expanding.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes,
I feel like we're building a little
guys.
like,
listen, don't, you know, what's that phrase? They're like, don't keep LOL Angels like down on the list. Like we're gonna be up there, guys. Like just give us some time.
Dude, I believe in the project fully, and I believe that there's so many people who are connecting with it, and I just think it's desperately needed, especially in this space of like the internet. It's run by toxicity. People want to see Grace say like evil things about us and pause and like rewind my laugh and like watch it in slow-mo and like, you know, assign all these intentions that are totally out of her own fucking ass. Like, anyway, but
honestly, like I just feel like even moments like that, or just even Mackenzie earlier with the hate, like I told you guys, like those are, I feel like signs not only to you guys that like what we're doing is like we're doing something right. Obviously, if we're getting hate, we're talking about positivity, light, love, Jesus, God. If people are hating on us because of that, that should tell you something that we're on the right track. Come on now.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was really it for me, guys. I think that we had such an amazing episode today. I think that it went really well. I'm glad that I did get to hear a little bit of what Hurricane said, because I can tell that he's coming with the right energy today. So we can be looking out for the Low and Order, guys. Look out for that. It will be on Riding High with Low. If not, it'll be sometime soon. I don't know. Tonight's about to be crazy. I can already tell after we get off here.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. That was episode 9 of LOL Angels, and we'll see you next week. And maybe
I was about to say, we almost forgot like to just shout some people out. So shout out to Dancing on the Sun, Dirty Curdy, Bean, Info Warrior. You've been here just saying like the video and praise God. Yes, we love that type of support. Hurricane said Low is the only one that loves to piss me off, but she does it in a good way, and I respect that. Okay, well, shout out to you, Hurricane. Really, shout out to you. Shout out to Armani, Final Chicken, OPC Don, of course, Jimmy, Brown Man, Spicoli, Imperious, our panelists, of course, all the mods, Beard Mania, Gamer the Dan,
Polly.
Polly,
great like forgetting a name. I can cheat and look at my little,
happy birthday to you, sir. Beard Mania, Static, Edward. People over at my chat, Moxie, Ron Mack, Universal. Shout out to all you guys and anybody that I missed, sir.
All the angels.
Everybody. Oh,
we
all
are
the
holding
angels.
an army.
We're gonna have to make a second back page to that. Okay, Big Blue.
I know we really got to. Oh yeah, and don't forget to join the Discord. And we have an X. I believe it's at the LOL Angels with a Z. And our personal accounts, Ruby SpaceX and Riding High with Low. So have a great evening. Don't forget to like and leave a comment for the algorithm.
Love you
We love
guys.
that. Yes. And spread this positivity out there. Challenge yourself to be better. Challenge yourself to reflect on yourself in an honest way. It can be painful,
Well,
but
maybe do
a lot more
something nice for someone. Do something nice for someone this week to make your not only them feel good, but yourself feel good. Okay, guys, we love you. Bye. See you later.
Bye.
We are angels, shining so bright, spreading love, same hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Every step you take, every dream you chase, know that you're enough, you're in the right place. Ruby alone, here to lift you higher, with love in our hearts, with light in the sky. Ruby alone, shining so bright, spreading love, lifted hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Hope in your heart, kindness in your hands. Together we rise like golden strands. No fear, no limits, just love and light. We'll change the world when we all unite. We are the world angels, shining so bright, spreading love, lifting hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Hope in your heart, kindness in your hands. Together we rise like golden strands. No fear, no limits, just love and light. We'll change the world when we all unite. We are the angels, shining so bright, spreading love, lifted hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. To everyone who shares this dream, you're the light, you're the beam. Thank you for love, for faith, for grace. Together we shine, one heart, one place.